something more. Holding the past in my hands, now I'm fighting for someone I've ignored. Find who I am, and I've been taking all the time I need to get back to me. Let me see all the ways that you used to be. Now I'm putting the fire to the floor. 'Cause I've been busy, I've been chasing waterfalls. Believing in some kind of miracle. I've been staring at the sun for too damn long. But when I open up the door, it hit me back to you. Baby, I've been chasing waterfalls. Believing in some kind of miracle. I've been staring at the sun for too damn long. But when I open up the door, it hit me back to you. I've been looking for answers, something more. Now I'm fighting for someone I've ignored. 'Cause I've been busy, I've been chasing waterfalls. I've been leaving in some kind. I've been staring at the sun for too damn long. But when I opened up the door, it led me back to busy, I've been chasing. Leaving in some kind. The sun. Be back to.
Alright, there we go. Unmute that, don't need that. We're all good. Hey, Janice. I don't know, that seems very unconventional. So yeah, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Sorry it started very late, where I am. Usually I feel like I would start earlier than this for the visual novel, but terrible sleeping pattern being what it is. But I'm here now. By God, that's loud. Put that down to 20. Lovely to hear you. Yeah, it's lovely to see you too. But yeah, we're here now. Obviously, you know, yesterday we did Cloud Punk, we did Padia. You know, 2 streams yesterday, which is nice. Even though they're only like 2. One of them was like just under 2 hours. The other one was just over 2 hours. Like, let's just say 2 hours a piece, right? And so you know that was pretty good. Way better than the weeks prior, because I had all the shit going on. So you know, to actually get down, actually, you know, do them was good. Today we've got Ace Academy. I don't really have anything to update on. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything that's like that I felt I could update on in the past two streams: Cloudpunk, Palia, and in the pinball streams as well. So if you want to be updated, you can always go back and watch the start of them. But when the timer, obviously I've got a time on stream for when it starts. When the timer hits 0, you can just go to like that. From that point on, watch for about 10-20 minutes, and I'll probably update on everything. So the 2 pinball streams and this one, but the 2 days didn't read. You don't want to go do that, which is fair enough, because you've got to go back and watch those streams. Is the painting and all that is over now of the kitchen, and all that's all done. That's all good now. So it's back to normal, so to speak. Obviously, you know, continue to do streaming and stuff. You know, uploading clips and that here and there. You know, in between streaming. I've got to get glasses soon. New glasses finally. It's been years. It's long overdue. I don't know the last time I got a new pair of glasses, but it's long overdue. I would say 5+ years. I don't know how long it's been since I got my current pair of glasses, but it desperately need a new pair. So they're priority. Then it's VR lenses, and I'll get a capture card at some point so I can stream my console and my phone. Because I've got a new phone recently, and it's really good for, like, you know, mobile gaming. So that'd be cool to be able to do that. So so I'm looking at like VR lenses first, then maybe a capture card. Then I've got MK1 coming out, so I'll resume the fire stream till MK1 comes out. Then I've got Spider-Man coming out, which will probably be a game I play on my own. So you know, because I'm really looking forward to playing that game. And you know, I don't know if I'll play that on stream. I'll probably play that off stream. Maybe I'll do like a replay of it. Once I play it through on my own once, I'll play through it again on stream. But I'd rather play through that on my own, the first playthrough on my own, just so I can enjoy the game to myself and that, you know. Oh, and I'm also doing I'm also looking to learn Unreal, because I'm looking Unreal before, learning Unreal before, but I stopped for some reason. And then before that, I was looking to getting into Unity. Now, the reason I'm really looking to learn Unreal again is because I've been talking with Monstrosity DMB, who's he's a friend and a fellow streamer. We've been talking about, you know, potentially, you know, making a game. And I've looked into Unreal as well, and people have made visual novels of Unreal. There's plugins to help you do that as well. Some plugins are better to use than others. One of them, which is like $80, even allows you to make a visual novel without any coding. You don't need to know any coding. You don't need to have any coding knowledge. You literally just put the building blocks together and it does it for you. Although knowing basic code would probably help me, because there's going to be things that the plugin can't do. But there's like 2 that I'm looking at. That one, and then there's another one that's been recommended to me by a visual novel developer who don't use that, but they've recommended that one for people who don't really know a whole lot about coding and put it all together on your own manually. right? Like they've recommended that one. You know, it's like if you're new to game development or new to Unreal and you don't really know how to code very well and all that, and know all the systems very well, then that will help streamline things, basically. So I'm looking at that one as well. So yeah, new glasses, VR lenses at some point, capture card at some point, MK1 coming out soon, Spider-Man, resume the fighting streams when MK1 comes out. All the painting that is done now and everything, so it's back to the, you know, normal scheduled stuff now. Yeah, that's about it really. I don't think there's anything else. As I said, if I've missed anything, you can always go, if you do feel so inclined, you can always go back and watch the past 2 to 4 streams, and I probably would have updated you all at that point. But yeah, let's get into the visual novel. Can I recreate that one scene from Ghost? No, I would not want to do that. That would be weird, even if it was with a woman. I thought that would be a bit weird. So I'll pass. It's going down too far. All right. Oh. Oh, I have to do window capture. Alright. Cool. And that's that. Okay. Oh, I remember where we were. I remember this. I remember where we were. Fine. I remember where we were. I remember where we were. Right. So where we last left off, games there, alert sounds are muted. Yeah, the alerts still show up. I want the alerts to be, sounds to be muted. Yeah, we're good. Then we mute the music for, not the game, but for the outside, for the Pretzel stuff. Alright, so yeah, when we last left off, we went to the beach. Part 11, we're on part 12 now. Again, all the parts for this playthrough are available on YouTube. Twitch deletes them after 7 days now, but they should be available on Kick, Trovo, primarily. And I recommend the best place to watch them would be YouTube, as I have a playlist on YouTube for all my live streams that I've done. There's even a tab by default for YouTube. I've got a playlist for my live streams as well, and there's a playlist specifically for Ace Academy, so you can watch all of them there. Parts 1 through 11. We're currently streaming part 12 now. Me too. Yeah, that one. I guess that's another name for it. So yeah, you can watch all of them there. So if you want to watch from here, if you want to watch, you know, this and then go back and watch those, it's up to you. But we're going to continue on from part 12. But they're all available on YouTube, and obviously, you know, if you don't want to watch them because, like, you know, you've watched this one, so you don't really want to go back and watch it from the beginning, I understand. But they are all available, and I recommend YouTube, like I said, because Twitch deletes them after 7 days, and it's easier to track them down. Because if you was to watch them on Kick or Trovo, or even Twitch for the ones that are still up, because they get deleted after like a week now, because they've changed things for how long VODs get stored. You'd have trouble. You have to scroll down and find all of them, even though I've titled all of them to be Ace Academy Part 10 and blah blah blah. Plus, I think parts 1 to 3, I think up to part 3, they were all uploaded as edited videos to YouTube, so you won't be able to find part 1 to 3. So you'd have to watch from part 4 onwards. So it's best to watch them on YouTube, even though they are technically available on Kick and Trovo, to my knowledge. It would be best to watch them on YouTube because, you know, you'll be able to watch them all properly. Anyway, last we left off, we went to the beach. There was a festival going on. We went to the beach. Our sister's friends have a crush on us, but we're like 18 or something like that. I don't know what age we are, but I think we're like 18 or something. And they're like 15, 14. So minors, right? They're underage. And they've been crushing on us for a while, and I think we've been oblivious to it and also haven't instigated it or whatever. And they decided to crush on us in front of Sho and Kari and Mayu and all that. And they were even Sho, our brother, was like, "What the hell, bro? Like, what? I don't even know you anymore," sort of thing. I'm like, "What the fuck? I'm just standing here. I don't even know what's going on. What have I done?" Like, I didn't make them like me. I haven't manipulated them into liking me or anything, and I haven't done anything. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I think our character's still oblivious to it. He doesn't realise that they're crushing on him, because why would they, right? Given their age and the fact that they don't know each other, or whatever, right? He's blissfully ignorant, right? But it doesn't stop his friends from automatically assuming wrongdoing of him. And even Sho, our bro, didn't have our back. I'm still upset about that. He didn't have our back when we needed him to. Right, but we move on, and towards the end of the beach segment, we even had Sho's back, because we lied for Sho, because we could have cock blocked him hard, but we decided, no, we're going to be a bro to Sho, and we're going to let him have his moment with Mayu in the sun. Literally have his moment with Mayu in the sun. They didn't get it on, but they had a nice intimate romantic moment, which we could have easily ruined, because we went looking for Sho to say, hey, we're going back now. Right, we could have cock blocked him hard. We could have really ruined the moment for them, but no, I believe I chose to let them have their moment, even lie to our friends to give them a little bit, an extra couple minutes to have that moment together, because that's what friends do, that's what bros do, we don't fuck over our friends unless we've got a really good reason to. Unlike Sho, who instantly sided with all of them, didn't give us the benefit of the doubt or anything, instantly sided with them with no evidence to go on, it hurts. But we move on. And yeah, so that happened, and we went to the beach and blah blah blah. And I think before that we went shopping with Kari to try out her sushi rolls or whatever, to make her own. And we followed her to her dad's place, or like their place of work, which is like a care home for kids. And and our sister sabotaged our bike. But that was in part 10. So I think all that happened in part 10. Part 11 was the beach, and now we're here. And now we're here with Mayu interviewing people for a band. I'm probably not catching you up on everything, but again, there's a lot to cover. So if you really want to know everything, I'm just trying to cover the main highlights. Oh, and we faced off against Sho's friends at one point. And again, I'm not saying all of this in the correct order, but the most recent thing that happened was the beach stuff. We went to the beach, we hanged out there was an event going on, a festival or whatever. Went to the beach, and I think now we're preparing to face off against Kari's old friend, because she's got beef with her, and we're faced off against her team next, I think. So we're preparing for that. Yeah, but right now we're interviewing people to join our band with Mayu, because we had a choice to hang out with people. There wasn't a choice for Kari, but maybe we had an option to hang out with Sho. But I was like, no, I'm still mad at Sho. I don't know if we had an option to hang out with Sho, but I probably wouldn't have chosen it anyway, because I'm still salty about the beach. But yeah, and then it went over how we've hanged out with Mayu, and we heard her singing, or it basically did an exposition and a story so far of what's gone on with Mayu. And I'm like, we've never did all of that. That's basically all we're going to tell you about, all the cool stuff we've done with Mayu that you did with her off screen. And I think it's the developers' way of cheaply giving you a way to hang out with Mayu, because they don't have anything else prepared, like a generic event that happens with Mayu that makes sense with Mayu. And they've got we've only really, because of time and budget and stuff, because this was their first visual novel. So my deduction skills, I thought the most logical reasoning is they don't have a lot of options to hang out with, for us to hang out with Mayu outside of her outside of her predetermined path. And so because, you know, because, you know, it's very linear, right? And so because of the linearity of her path and all their paths, and their budget and stuff, like scenes and, you know, characters and placements and stuff, they're like, well, the only way that we can have the player hang out with Mayu is if they've been doing the band stuff, right? Otherwise we're going to have to create an entirely new scene and everything, and, you know, time and budget being what it is, we're just going to have them hang out with Mayu as if they was already hanging out with her, because that's what it feels like. This whole scenario with being in the band with her and stuff, and the exposition for why we're hanging out with her, why we started hanging out with her, all the band stuff, you know, all that exposition, it happened off screen. We didn't get to see any of that. So it just feels like the developers are trying to cheaply justify this band stuff happening with her for those of us who haven't chosen to hang out with Mayu until this point, to justify it happening, you know. So it's like, I don't understand. It gives us a story so far of what happened with what we've done with Mayu, right? But the story so far happened off screen, you know, and I just feel like they're just trying to cheaply justify us hanging out with Mayu, because I personally, and if you've been watching, haven't really chosen to hang out with Mayu very often, if at all, because I've been focusing on Kaori and Sho until the beach. Until the beach happened, I've been focused on Kaori, and then Sho if Kaori isn't an option, right? So I just feel like it's a cheap way of being able to still use the assets that they have with Mayu's scenes without having to recreate new ones, because it wouldn't make any sense for us to be doing bad stuff with Mayu, because we haven't done any of that with her. So it's like, okay, give them a cheap. Give them a story so far. Give them some quick bit of exposition to explain why all this is happening with Mayu, even though the player hasn't actually experienced any of it in game, right? And in that way, we can justify still using all of these assets for Mayu scenes without recreating an entirely new scene with her, because the player hasn't hung out with her until now. I know I'm going on a huge rant here, but it's a little. What I guess what I'm trying to say is it's a cheap cop-out. It's a cheap cop-out. I get it. I do get it. I get why they've done it, but it feels very cheap to give us a quick bit of exposition and essentially a story so far, right? To explain why we're doing this bad stuff with Mayu, but it's like all that stuff happened off screen. I didn't experience any of that in game, but I'm sure those who have chosen to invest in Mayu and her path did experience all of that. But because I've only just chosen to hang out with her now, it's only given me the option. It's you know, they can't, you know, it's a cheap cop out basically. I've gone on a huge rant here already, but it's a cheap cop out, right? They want to still use the assets that they have for Mayu's path, but they can't do that if we haven't experienced that path, which we haven't, right, up until now. So give the player a quick bit of exposition to justify them being in this scenario with Mayu without having to create an entirely new one. It's cheap. It's a cop out. Don't know why I'm going on a huge rant, but whatever. Anyway, let's actually get on with it. Sorry about that. It's what I do. I go on rants and I talk a lot. But yeah, the beach stuff happened. Before that, we faced it off against Sho's team. No, before that, we made sushi with Kaori. We followed her because she took the wrong bag with her ingredients, because she went with us and went off, and then we went to a care home and we found out what she does on the side with her uncle or dad. And before that, we faced off against Sho's friends in a battle and stuff, and now we're here with Mayu doing band stuff, even though we never experienced any of that. But you know, it's a cheap cop out. Oh god, the FPS just went tank. Are we okay? Are we good? That was weird. I think we're fine. That was very weird. Are we good? The FPS, they just lagged out of nowhere. I have no idea why. Are we good? I think we're good. Alright. That was very weird. Alright. Mayu's brow is furrowed and she wears a hesitant smile. She seems just as apprehensive as I am. Hello, what's your name? The boy wears a goofy grin. Hi, I'm Bill Hang. What are you going to sing today? Oh, that's his voice. Mayu and I glance at each other. This was a popular song back when we were kids. I nod. Whenever you're ready. Bill flashes us another lopsided grin. As he belts out a tune, he begins to bounce his knees and stiffly jerk his hips from side to side. He sings in a monotone and his cadence feels almost robotic. Paired with his strange dancing, he reminds me of someone gaining use of their limbs for the first time. I glance over at Mayu, who has a forced smile frozen on her face. Her eyes seem almost panicked. I can tell she's wondering if all our auditions are going to be as awful as this one, because I'm wondering the same thing. I catch her attention and give her a reassuring smile. She seems to relax some. Finally, he finishes and waits expectantly for our feedback. At least you've got spirit. My dog can sing better than... I don't have a dog. Yo, dog. I'll just say at least you got spirit. He's got spirit, he's just a little confused. I put on my most comforting smile. Thanks for coming out. Bill continues to stare at me as if expecting more. You had a lot of great passion in your performance. Bill stares stoically as I give him my feedback, then expectantly at Mayu. She fidgets under his gaze as she tries to find something to say.
Well, it was... You were very brave to sing in front of us, and I think it's great that you did.
She nods, seemingly satisfied with her review. I'm about to dismiss him when someone interrupts me.
Excuse me, but are you in the wrong room? This audition is for singers. I'm not sure what you thought you were doing up there, but it certainly was not singing.
Simon QL. Right. Another student sits beside Mayu. He's wearing an ace uniform without teal stripes, so he isn't a pilot. Mayu merely glances over at the student, but otherwise doesn't react to his presence. Maybe he's one of her music friends. She must have asked him to sit on our auditions and help us judge who would be a good fit. Despite the new guy's scathing comments, Bill doesn't seem fazed.
I did my very best, and that's all I could have done. I have no professional training, but I am very glad of my performance.
Mayu smiles encouragingly.
That's great. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thanks. We'll be in touch. Mayu's friend crosses his arms and waits for Bill to leave. Once Bill leaves, he is immediately replaced by another student. He's still in ace uniform, but contrastly, his long dark hair falls to mid-back and covers one eye.
Hi, my name is Slasher, and I'll be singing an original song I wrote myself.
Hi.
He cuts Mayu off in the middle of her greeting and screams in a hoarse voice. Oh god. I scream over Slasher before my ears literally begin to bleed. Thank you! I think we've heard enough. Mayu's eyes are wider than I've ever seen and she flinches every time Slasher belts out a word.
Thanks. If you could please stop for a second.
Her friend clamps his hands over his ears and cringes in pain.
Stop, for the sake of our sanity.
Slasher finally quiets down but looks confused.
Are you trying to turn us all into raving psychopaths? Because the only effect constant yelling has on me is making me angry.
What? I haven't even gotten to the killing part yet. Here, listen.
Mayu and I shout simultaneously. No! Slasher pauses again. Mayu's friend looks like he's about to speak again, but we silence him with death glares. That's energetic. I think I've gone there. Oh man, I would have been nice, but that's just too good. That was quite possibly the worst song I've ever heard. I would say more, but I'll be honest with you, I can't hear myself over the ringing in my ears. In response, Slasher opens his mouth, ready to belt out another tune. Mayu immediately stops him.
Wait, your song is definitely very original, but it's not quite the direction we're going for this band.
Whatever. You guys can't even begin to comprehend my genius.
Slasher turns on his heel and walks out of the room. I breathe a sigh of relief, but brace myself for the next audition. A girl walks in. She wears her ace uniform and has her dark hair pulled back into a messy ponytail. She seems normal so far, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Hello. She smiles warmly and waves.
Hi, my name is Mitsuki.
Mayu seems hopeful.
Feel free to begin whenever you're ready.
Mitsuki nods, takes a deep breath. So Mitsuki nods and takes a deep breath. Her voice shakes as she sings a soft melody, but grows in power as she gains confidence. Mayu and I blink at each other. She's actually good. I close my eyes and find myself getting lost in Mitsuki's voice. Before long, her song is done. Mitsuki waits nervously for our feedback. Mayu stands to her feet so suddenly her chair wobbles.
You were wonderful! You have a powerful voice which would perfectly complement our instruments and the emotion behind your song. I could feel what you were singing.
Mitsuki blushes at Mayu's praise.
Thank you.
Yo dog, that was blazing. Oh man. I'll say this is it. One of my favourite things in the world is when I sit in this chair and I meet a star for the first time. You are a star. Well done. Mitsuki breaks into a wide smile. The random guy raises a hand.
Excuse me, but what was that?
Mitsuki blinks, obviously confused. I'm not sure what the guy is talking about either.
This good shy girl act is so played out. Where's the confidence, the fire, and for God's sake, have you ever heard of a comb?
Mitsuki runs her hands through her hair.
I'm sorry. My last class was physical education, and I was running a little late.
I lean closer to Mayu. What's with your friend? He's kind of a jerk.
Wait, I thought he was your friend.
We stare at each other for a second, then focus our attentions on the mystery guy. Hey. He glances at us. Who are you?
Excuse me?
He pulls a face of disgust.
How dare you? Don't you know who I am?
No. Mayu shakes her head. The guy scoffs.
Clearly, I have made a terrible mistake. You peasants wouldn't know greatness if it bit you in the ass.
And you wouldn't know greatness if it was in your ass. That makes no sense, but still, get burned. With a loud sniff of disdain. He swaggerliciously exits the room. That's a word. Awkward.
So, did I pass?
Yes, we'd love for you to join the band.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. We have your information, so we'll let you know when our next practice will be, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be there. Okay, thank you again.
Reading from ear to ear, Mitsuki practically skips out of the room.
Is it strange that I feel kind of nervous?
How come?
I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm already getting ideas for new pieces that will incorporate her voice. So, I don't know why I'm so nervous.
It's probably because of how bad those previous auditions were. You're hoping this one good audition isn't a fluke.
Maybe.
She smiles at me.
We should probably clean reserve time is running out.
After Mayu and I clean up the music room, we part ways so she can go to class. I can't wait to see what kind of music the three of us will create together. I make my way towards the cafe to meet with our account manager from Dashu. I try to anticipate what kind of questions he'll ask about Eagle so I can have answers ready. Yuna said this wasn't an interview, but I still want to make a good impression. As I enter the cafe, I sweep my gaze across the room and spot a man wearing a Dashu jacket. That must be him. After ordering a cup of coffee, I walk over to greet him. Hello. The man faces me, and I'm surprised by how young he looks. He only seems to be a couple of years older than us. I'm Holy, the pilot for Eagle from Ace 2049-11. He smiles and gestures to the seat from him. I accept the seat.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. As I'm sure you know, I'm Yuri Ariev, your account manager with Dashu.
A waitress places our drinks on the table. He takes a sip from his drink and seems pleasantly surprised. There must be some good coffee.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am curious about a few things.
About Eagle.
Eagle?
He looks genuinely confused. I guess my intel was incorrect.
No, about Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive? That was my team I played for at Cine. Looks like Yuri did his homework on me. Be aware that I still have an active NDA with them. He nods.
Of course. I am more interested about the team and sponsorship dynamics in the West. I've researched that companies have official teams in the school rather than just sponsoring a different team from time to time.
I nod. That's right.
Hyperdrive is an S-ranked division team at CINY. That's quite the accomplishment. I can see why you transferred into Ace with a history like that.
I was just their primary backup. It wasn't all that much. I was just a primary backup and not on the starting line.
Primary backup on an S-ranked division team while being a first year. I'd say that is quite the accomplishment.
I suppose so.
What were your teammates like?
Hyperdrive had about 20 pilots on the team. I didn't know all of them well, but I made a few friends. Yuri takes another zip from his coffee.
Ah yes, I've heard the official company teams tend to recruit purely from an efficiency and winning standpoint. There's even internal competition within the team to see who are the strongest pilots.
I nod.
Which means your solo rank must have been strong if you were the primary backup after the starting four.
Yeah, although I can't say everyone was pleased with the first year being a primary backup. Yuri chuckles.
I take it the more senior members of the team weren't pleased.
Yeah, because of that, most of the people I considered to be close were other first years, but some of the seniors who were already on the starting lineup would help me train.
Sounds like there was a very split dynamic among the team, which is not surprising given how large it is. It's hard to foster close camaraderie when everyone competes for the same spots.
There were definitely a lot of cliches that formed within the group. I tried to stay away from any drama and was just focused on bringing up my rank.
How well do you think that model works compared to the model here?
I pause. The pressures are different, but I do believe smaller teams make more efficient teams. You're more invested in your personal training and development. Not because there is a looming pressure that someone is just a number away from replacing you, but because you're an important member of your team. And of course, you end up fostering closer relationships with your teammates. But the whole sponsorship process here is incredibly imbalanced. Yuri nods understandably. Honestly, I'm grateful you agreed to sponsor us. We were rejected a few times before, and Yuna was really disappointed by how unwilling most companies were to consider us.
Your team at Ace is a little unique. Even though you guys are an S-ranked division team, because you're a new team with no history of performance, you're also considered high risk.
High risk?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge whether your team is a strong up-and-comer or if your entry into this division was a fluke. Most companies don't like that uncertainty.
If that's the case, how come you decided to take that risk? He grins.
I know good talent when I see it. If I had been too afraid to take risks, I never would have landed Yudai. When I signed him on, he was a new pilot but already showed so much potential.
Oh, so this guy's actually got vision. He's got vision and foresight and the power of foresight, and he can look and he's willing to take those risks, because if he doesn't take risks, he's never going to get where he wants to be. I mean, who's to say that when he's older and, you know, quote unquote wiser, I mean, he always seems wise, but when he's at that point that the others are at, right, that declined us, will he still be a risk taker, or will he choose to play it safe like them? And what I'm saying is, at least for now, he's a warm breath of fresh air. But who's to say that he won't become as jaded and as play safe as the rest of them when he gets to their point in their career, in his career? He looks wistful.
What happened to him was tragic. The least I could do is to help his sister, especially after seeing how his death affected her.
Oh shit. Wait, what happened?
You don't know?
He falters.
You should probably talk to Yuna.
Oh, sure. Uncomfortable silence settles while we both dip at our drinks. Once he downs the last of his coffee, he checks his phone, then smiles politely.
I have to run to another meeting. Thanks again for stopping in to chat with me, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Thanks. It was nice to meet you. I say my goodbye and take another sip of my drink as I watch him leave. What happened to Yuna's brother? How come she never mentioned him to me? Well, because none of our business, and it probably deeply affects her. And she doesn't know us well, and she doesn't know us well enough to divulge that kind of information. That's the kind of information that you maybe tell a close friend who you've known for many years, once they've shown that you can trust and confide in them, and they're not just going to run away, right? That's the type of person you tell that information to, not someone who you've known for maybe a couple months at best, who you have occasionally spoken to. I don't think that's the kind of information that you tell someone like that, right? That's just my 2 cents. I shouldn't drive myself crazy thinking about questions I don't have the answers to. The next time I see Yuna, I'll ask. In the meantime, I still have time before I should go home. What should I do to clear my mind? Hey, Carrie. There we go. The match against Ona Bugeshi lingers in my mind. I've watched some replays of their past matches, and they are predominantly a melee-oriented team. My best practice against them would be to practice with Kaori and Aura. She doesn't answer when I call, but I make my way to the hangar anyway. When I arrive, I see Kaori is already in a simulation match. No wonder she's not answering her phone. After grabbing her attention, she agrees to play against me. I boot up Eagle and enter into a simulation with Aura. Aura thrusts forward with an aggressive stab. I easily dodge her attack. Her gear loses balance and stumbles forward. Eagle uses counter attack. It's super effective. Aura has fainted. I mean, has been depowered.
Again.
Kaori's frustration is audible through the comm. This marks her 4th consecutive loss. She's playing too aggressively and not planning out any tactics. Let's take a break.
No, we need to keep practicing.
Isn't really practice for me. No, I'll if I make it about her, like, this isn't really practice for me because you're sucking. She's just gonna get angry. She's too prideful. She's her pride. She's not gonna put her pride aside and realize that she needs to change how she's being. She thinks it's not her. It must be something else. She's just not trying hard enough. When it's just how she's going about it is wrong. She needs to completely change her approach, but she's too prideful and arrogant to do that, right? So if we say this isn't really a practice for me, that's just good. Piss her off. I have to make it about me. It's my fault. I need a break, you know. Otherwise, you know, I need to appear as if I'm the one who needs the break. Otherwise, you know, she's going to be prideful and arrogant and just get too angry. If we blame her because it is her fault, she's not going to take that well. Knowing Kaori, she's not going to take that very well. So I think we should go for a break. I need to get a drink. We can continue after.
Fine.
Aura disconnects from our virtual simulation. I do the same. Then hop out of my cockpit and reconvene with Kaori at her gear. Her arms are crossed and she has a sour look on her face. Kaori. She looks up at me. Hi. She blinks at me rapidly before her arms fall her side and she sighs.
Hi.
I know better than to ask if you're okay. But...
Yes, I am. Sorry about earlier.
No, it's okay. Her body relaxes and she takes a more welcoming posture. I think she's pleased by how I brought that up.
It's just, we absolutely can't lose to Ona Bugiesha.
Then get your head in the game. What's so important about beating May's team?
It's nothing to do with May.
I blink at her heated reaction. I never said it did.
With Strike X being disqualified from our original match, we have a rare chance to really jump our rating if we beat Ona Bugiesha.
I'm not very convinced that's the only reason. But she does have a point. Then we'll give it our all. Kaori nods. Her spirits seem to be lifted. I'm glad we got that sorted out. Kaori nods but can't quite hide her yawn. She covers her mouth and after taking another look at her, I notice bags under her eyes. It looks like she used makeup to cover it up so I wouldn't notice. No, I'm just so worried about her. She won't take it very well, right? She doesn't like... She's obviously the type of person who doesn't like to be vulnerable, right? Any vulnerability is a sign of weakness and, you know, pride and arrogance and all that. But she's never going to open up to us if we don't push. We just have to be careful how we push and by how much. Kaori's the type of person who she's not going to listen to anybody who doesn't push back, right? But you got to do so in the right way at the right time and not too hard. Otherwise, she's just going to really push you back, right? I'm worried about you. We've been over this, Kaori. You have to take care of yourself or you'll get sick.
What are you talking about?
The yawn. The bags under your eyes. Kaori shakes her head.
I'm fine.
I cross my arms and look at her sternly. My look doesn't change.
Okay, maybe I spent a little extra time at the daycare this week. And brought some marking work home.
And how long did you stay up doing that?
Just until like 2 a.m. It really wasn't that bad.
2 a.m.
I don't know why you're making this into such a big deal. Stop worrying about me.
I can't stop worrying about you. Kaori blinks. I just realised how that sounded. That's exactly what I meant. No, we're going for it. We're going for it. That's exactly what I meant. Kaori waits for me to correct myself. But I don't. She furrows her brow and seems a little confused by how to respond.
If I do, will you stop, annoying me so much about it?
She's starting to sound like herself again. Yes.
Okay, but I'd only be doing it so you'd stop pestering me.
I smile. Works for me. Should we get back to training?
Yes, of course.
Clip that. I missed a chance to clip it earlier there with the singing stuff. I mean, I could go back and clip it, but that would be like that would be genuinely faking it, right? It's not natural. It's not organic. That would generally be faking. I mean, I might like, you know, egg it on a little bit, right, or exaggerate it, right, for comedic effect, right? But that's because it's happening in the moment, and I feel like doing it then and there. If I go back and reload that to clip it and reread it as if it was on stream, especially to those who watched it, it's like this isn't you know what I mean. I'd know, and then I know if anybody who watches me, you know, the rare few of you who do, right, because I'm not a big streamer, right, I thought you'd notice, right? It's like, wait a minute, this isn't you've clearly gone back and reloaded and you're trying to recreate like the scenario to clip it. I mean, it's not that hard to recreate. I just got to reload it, right? But if I say the line as if I was saying it on stream for the first time, it feels fake, right? And it would be fake because I'm not doing it naturally. I'm doing it knowing I've already done it before, just to get the clip. It's a missed opportunity, which sucks. I think that specifically the guy was doing the metal stuff and the deaf stuff. When I was saying that I've gone deaf, that was a good moment to clip, but unfortunately, you know, it's passed me by. But to be fair, to my credit, there's like to my credit, we do have like several clips to upload, and a lot of them are 8 Academy. So it's not like, you know, it's not like I haven't got a good, you know, assortment of clips, and hopefully there'll be opportunities later on for good good moments. Although I've got a lot of ones with Kaori saved, so I'd like to get some ones that don't involve Kaori. So that would have been a good moment there with Mayu, but unfortunately we missed our chance. We head back into our gears and load up another we head back into our gears and load up another simulation match. Kaori is more focused than before and no longer making such rash decisions. Ultimately, we end up getting a solid training session from our doors. Before long, it becomes late and we say our goodbyes before heading home. As I enter the house, I hear soft giggles coming from the living room. A tuft of blonde hair peeks over the couch. Another wave of giggles from the couch, but cease abruptly as I step closer. Nikki hangs up the phone and turns around to greet me.
Hi, big bro.
I plop down next to her. Who was that guy? Her eyes grow red.
How did you know it was a guy?
You just told me. we tricked it out. We tricked her. I didn't, but I do now. She pouts.
Tricky.
It's tricky. How does that go? It's tricky. Oh man, you gotta love the manipulation. Not the best, but I feel like that. I thought that's an alright moment.
No one?
Doesn't sound like no one.
He's just a classmate.
You didn't get me. I'm reaching around and grab Nikki's phone while she's distracted.
No, give it back!
She screams in my ear. She leaps over me, reaching towards her phone. I fend her off and keep the phone away from her grasping hands. As she continues to struggle, I worm my way off the couch and flip through her call list before she can scramble to her feet. The last dialed number is to Ken. What kind of weird Japanese name is Ken? Nikki snatches the phone right as I speak, then pummels my chest with her fists.
Oh my god, you are such a jerk.
Is he even a real person?
Of course he is.
But his name is Ken.
You're the worst.
Can you live without him? No, can you not live without him? Oh man. She hits me hard one last time before turning on her heel and storming upstairs. When she's halfway to the top, she pauses.
And by the way, Ken means strong in Japanese.
How much can he lift? Oh man. I'm just too good. I'm too good. Oh, anyway. That clip there, I feel like I might use this one instead of that one. I'll have to be careful when I go back and try and remember, oh, this is like the same like these clips were clipped very close together, right? So I'll have to see what I have to see. I might not end up using some of these clips because I can make one clip from. I can incorporate both moments from one clip, but we'll see. We'll see. At least I've got options because I need to keep the backlog going. I really need to go for a poop. I know I shouldn't. I know Bruno's like, but thanks, Scribe. We're sitting here enjoying a visual novel along with you as you play through it, and you're gonna bring up that. I know, too much information, but duty calls, and it's calling fast. Nikki stomps into her room and slams the door. Oh yeah. Oops. Still, Ken. Oh, I hear laughter. Is that me? Did I just laugh out loud? Kato's leaning against the doorway behind me. A broad smile on his face. I jump when I see him. First Akira and now Kato. How is everyone sneaking up on me?
That's good. Ken is a funny name. It's like... Yen!
He teased a laugh at his joke, then gradually calms down.
Why does your face look like that?
Like what? I always look like this.
No, like this.
He mimics a look of cringing and disbelief. I don't... What? I should go do my homework.
Good idea. Get smart.
I slowly head towards the stairs, still unsure about what just happened. As I walk up the stairs, I can still hear faint chuckles from Kato and the echoes of Ken Yen. Ken Yen. Since I was already in my room, I get caught up on study until it was time for sleep. Alright, I'm gonna quickly pop to the loo as duty calls. I'll try to be quick, obviously. And then after that, we'll continue. Alright, back in a sec. I'll try not to be too long. Alright, there we go, I'm back. And take very long at all. Thankfully. I won't go into detail, but let's just say it was a in and out kind of situation. I mean, you know, not like, you know, waterfall in and out, but it was a pretty, it was smooth sailing, and the sails were solid. Oh man, probably a reason why I'm not a big name streamer. Right, anyway, I'll do it from here. Since I was already in my room, I caught up on studying until it was time to sleep. I wake up energized and throw off the blankets. Today is my match against Ona Bugeshi, and I'm looking forward to it. I run through my morning routine, thinking up strategies in my head. Then I try to refocus as I finish my breakfast. I still have a class to attend before my match. I grab my bag and hop on my bike. There is an unexpectedly heavy amount of traffic this morning, and I rush into class right on time. That was a little close for comfort. As I settle into my seat, the professor clears his throat, beginning the lesson.
Good morning, class. For today's lesson, we will discuss the differences between energy and kinetic weapons.
Skip. What an excellent opportunity for a power nap. I settle into my business and classes. I settle into my business and class passes by in a blur.
That's all for today. Please make sure you have all completed your WebLink assignments for next class.
I pack my things and head to the hangar to meet with my team. Our match is scheduled earlier than usual and we need to rethink our strategy. The plans we discussed had all revolved around our match against Strike X, but now that they're disqualified, we have to come up with new ones against our opponent. I enter the hangar and look for Aura. When I arrive, everyone is already there. Show waves.
Bro, Seth?
Fuck you. Hey!
Hi.
Kari greets me with a nod.
Good. We're all here. Let's head to the pre-combat room and start planning out strategies.
Hey.
We collectively turn at the sound of May's voice. She waves and beams at us as she runs closer.
What are you doing here, May?
Kari sounds less than amused.
I wanted to wish you all good luck. I'm so excited for our match.
Me too.
May smiles and nods. Who needs luck when you're this good? Oh yeah, why not? Try and keep up. We wouldn't want a one-sided match. May grins.
Don't underestimate us.
As quickly as she arrived, she's gone in a flash.
She's so nice. I'm totally feeding off of her enthusiasm. I'm getting a better vibe off of this match too than the one off of Strike X.
No!
Sho blinks at Kari's outburst.
No?
She's just putting on an act. She was trying to psych us out. Don't fall for it.
I don't think that was her goal.
You guys don't know her like I do. You can't trust her. Especially when she's acting all friendly like that.
I remember the heated discussion I overheard. Sorry, I remember the heated conversation I overheard between Kari and May. This must be related.
Anyways, let's go strategize while we have some time.
She doesn't wait for us to answer and begins power walking towards the pre-combat rooms.
Hey, wait for us!
We jog to catch up and follow her. After a quick change into our pilot suits, we meet at the holodesk. Kari sets up the match. A few minutes later, the holodesk projects the arena and the gears involved in the fight.
Alright, so what's the deal?
Ona Bugiesha is a melee-only team. It will be important to pay attention to our positioning and maintain a safe distance.
We've had close combat teams in the past. Claw of the Wild comes to mind from a few weeks ago. Mayu is focused on the holodesk and takes a serious tone.
Claw of the Wild was a melee-centric team, but their gears were knitted to perform a hybrid role, Based on Onabugeisha's data, their gears are all custom tailored for high bursts of speed and close combat engagements. We would benefit greatly from keeping a distance. If we play defensively, it will force them to chase us, and we can wear them down before going on the offense.
What do you think, Brosif?
Let's go for a smash melee brawl. No, if we go for that, especially when some of us aren't kitted for it, like me, I feel like I'm an all-rounder. Mayu is a sniper. Kari, I think, is close range, and Sho, I think, is like support, maybe. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just guessing at some of these stuff like vaguely, but I know Mayu, I think, is definitely a sniper. So, and I'm like an all-rounder, I think. So, I think range. I think Mayu's not wrong. I think going for a Super Smash Melee Brawl when their gears are kitted, they are optimized and made in mind and designed in mind for close melee engagement, right? That's like, I don't know, that's like me taking a dagger and trying to fight with a samurai in close combat. They literally are designed for like sword combat, right? And I'm going to take a small little knife with me. Like, it's not going to work, right? So I think what she said is fair. If they had no ranged weaponry, we should do as much damage from afar as we can. Whittling them down before fully engaging would give us the advantage.
Sounds good to me.
Mayu and Kari both nod. Okay, well, we can all go in range, but Aura can't. The team looks at Kari.
I'll engage May head on and keep her out of the fight.
That kind of goes against our plan. To my surprise, Kari grits her teeth and bites back a retort. She studies the holodesk for a little too long, then sighs.
I guess I don't have much of a choice. I'll hang back with you guys and intercept if one of the enemy gears manages to break through.
Mayu nods.
I think that would be best.
Okay, let's recap. We'll play it from a distance and keep baiting their team. Since Mayu is our best shot, we'll keep her well protected and follow her lead.
Kari looks right at me. She finally looks more focused than I've ever seen her all week.
You and Sho can play aggressively if we take the lead. I will intercept whoever reaches Mayu, if they even manage to. Got it?
We all nod. The tension is palpable. Even though Kari is always serious, her tone is more aggressive than usual.
We have a rare opportunity to really boost our MMR, and we can't throw this chance away. There's absolutely no way we can lose to May.
That almost sounded like a threat. I nod a little uneasily and glance at Sho and Mayu, whose faces mirror my thought. Kari turns back to the holodesk and uploads our plans as we wait in silence. A loud beep announces the match. I mutter under my breath. Saved by the beep. Sho and Mayu seem equally relieved.
Just make sure you guys stay focused.
Of course.
Sho forces enthusiasm into his voice, attempting to raise our morale. Kari ignores him and Sho deflates.
Let's go.
Who wants to bet that our strategy would work, but Kari gets baited by her friend and blindly charges him? Right? She's the one that gets baited, and then we get blamed for fucking up, even though it was Kari who blindly went in, and because we didn't follow her lead because it was against the plan. You know, she's gonna blame us, be mad at her friend, you know, because she's got beef with her, right? And then she's gonna blame us for fucking up, even though it was her that went against the plan. Watch her get baited. I don't think we're gonna win this with how it's being written and all the foreshadowing and everything and all the build up to this. I don't think we're gonna win. I think we're going to lose, and we're going to lose hard, because that's going to create for a tense moment between her and her friend. And if we play it right, that creates for a dramatic moment between us and between, you know, our character and Kari, and, you know, we can maybe get closer to her because we put her in her place, and it forces her to really see the error of her ways. And I don't know. I feel like from a writer's perspective, I feel like there's more more to get out of the relationships and the story if we lose. If we win, then Kaori's like, haha, we beat you, and then that's that, right? But I feel like there's more opportunity for character development, more opportunities for for drama and immediacy if we lose, right? That's going to create for tense emotional moments between us and Kaori and her friend and the team. You know, there's going to be drama there, right? And a lot of feelings involved. Where it's going to, it's just going to create for, really, strong emotional moments. Whereas, which creates a lot of opportunities for character development and to push the story forward in an interesting way. Whereas if we win, it's like, yeah, we won, cool. And then Kaori's like, fuck you, we beat you, I'm better than you. That's what you get. That's what you get. And then it's like, okay, then we carry on and it's back to normal, right? Whereas if we lose, Kaori's going to have to confront her friend knowing that she lost. She's going to have to, her feelings are going to come to a head, and she's going to have, her anger is going to get the better of her, and we're going to be forced to calm Kaori down and really, really make her see the error of her ways. We're going to have to really put her in her fucking place, and then she's going to be forced to really fucking see what she's become, right? I think from a writing perspective, it's more interesting if we lose. Right, and going with what I've said as to what the justification for why I think we're going to lose, I think we're going to lose. I don't think we're meant to win this. I don't think we will. I think we're supposed to lose this because it's not going to make for an interesting story, is it? If we win, there's more opportunities for the story and the character development if we lose. Guarantee you, I'm calling it now. We're going to lose this match. And we're going to lose hard, and it's going to be because Kaori gets blinded and goes after her friend. She gets baited by her friend and goes after her, and then we're left defenseless because Kaori's fucked off. So we have to scramble to try and protect Mayu, and because we're scrambling to protect her, we're not in position. They're going to take advantage to close the gap between us, take us out, take Mayu out, and there's just her and her friend, and then they're going to lose because she's able to get her out to get one over Kaori because she's too invested in her feelings for her friend. Guarantee you that's what's going to happen. The crowd erupts into a loud cheer.
Good, because we have an amazing one lined up for you. Oda Fugeisha versus 8, 20, 49, 11.
Everyone's comms are open as we await the sound off. May's team get into position and wait with relaxed confidence. As we get into formation, the tension I felt from before intensifies. This no longer feels as friendly of a match as I thought it'd be. As soon as the sound off blares, May's team dashes straight towards us. A faint shimmer surrounding their gear reveals a hefty frontal shield. May raises her gun and takes aim while the three of us position to protect her. A heavy round flies into one of the gears in the distance. Although the shot connects, it disperses into a hexagon of shimmers.
What?
They're shields. They're tailored to deal with railguns. I need the shield to be weakened so that my shot can penetrate and force an immediate to power.
Affirmative. I'll stay back and protect. You two go aggressive and focus on knocking out their shield.
Let's go.
Roger that. Switching to EMP rounds now.
Sho and I boost forward, spraying a howl of energy rounds. The enemy team takes evasive maneuvers. May breaks away while the other three continue racing towards Mayu. She's going to flank. The closest enemy gear takes the brunt of the damage, and its front barrier drops. Mayu takes advantage of the vulnerability and aims a shot at the gear, instantly depowering it.
Nice. One down.
Yeah, but her friend is flanking because they're a distraction. That's the trade-off. They go down because we're focusing on them because they're pushing forward. It forces our attention to be drawn to them, while her friend flanks around and is going to take out Mayu from behind, which forces a one-on-one between her and Kaori, and then we're left standing watching on. Watch as that happens.
I have two of them approaching me. Kaori? Kaori!
Aura has already left her position and sprints towards May. Yeah, so there we go. I fucking called it. Kari's gonna get baited by her friend and blinded by her emotions for her friend, and is going to get baited, and we're left trying to reposition and scramble to adjust, which we won't be able to because it happened too fast and we weren't prepared for it. And Kari's gonna blame us, you know, that we fucked up and it's our fault, even though she's the one that went against the plan. I fucking called it. I said this would happen. I said this would fucking happen. We're not meant to win this. We are not meant to win this. Okay, she didn't flank like I thought she would, but what I said originally, what happened, I called it. Kari abandoned her position and went against the plan because she's too blinded by her emotions for her friend and got baited. Well, the worst part is her friend didn't even bait her. She just you know, gave in to her feelings for her friend. She did bait her, but not deliberately. It wasn't a deliberate bait. Kari let herself get baited, and the irony is her friend didn't even mean to do it. She just gave into her blindful feelings for her friend. But we're gonna get blamed, and it's gonna create. I told you, I fucking told you that I knew it. As a fucking writer, I could fucking see that a mile away. It creates for more interesting moments, more options for drama and character development and emotional, intense moments. You know, it creates for a better story if we lose. If we win, it's the same reason why Ash from Pokemon always loses, right? It's why, like, unlike Red, he loses all the time. Because if he wins, it's boring. If he always wins, it's boring. It's not interesting to watch. It's more interesting if he loses and has to overcome that loss, right? And he grows as a character because of those losses. They strengthen. They create for emotional moments and a more interesting story. Whereas if he wins all the time, it's boring. Nobody wants to watch someone who's always winning, right? I fucking knew it. Aura has already left her position and sprints towards May.
What are you doing? You have to protect Mayu!
I am! I'm taking out May so she can't attack!
But you've left Mayu. Yeah, but there's still two of them left, right? We took out one. There's still two left. And whilst you've abandoned your position, May's left unguarded, which means the other two mechs can go after Mayu whilst you're with her. We're not in a position to defend Mayu because we're too far forward. So if we try and double back, they're fast and built for close range combat. So they'll overtake us as we try to double back to protect Mayu, close a gap with her, and take her out before we can even get to defend her. So your reasoning makes no sense. If you wanted to protect Mayu, you should have stayed with her. Now you've left her unguarded. Like a fish to water, man. Like a fish to water. Like a horse to water, sorry. Like a horse to water.
That wasn't the plan! You two cover her!
We're too far forward.
We're not in position
exactly.
She's already engaged. Let's go!
Sho and I boost back to Mayu. But it's too late.
Been devoured.
Her voice is lethally calm. This can't be good. The two enemy gears shift to Sho and I.
2 on 2, but not much distance. Play this out carefully.
For once, Sho is serious. The gears split their focus and one of them charges towards me while the other boosts towards Sho. I boost away and take aim. My aim is true and a blast of enemy rounds collides with her gear. She stumbles back from the hit while I create more distance between us. Before she can strike again, I move away to create more distance between us. I raise my guns for another shot. She tries to dodge but is too slow and my shots pellet her shield. She's pushed back from the force of the blow. But once again she gets her bearings. She boosts right back towards me. As she approaches, I boost away from her and weave around the arena, forcing her to chase me. I steady my aim. She's too slow to dodge and my shot strikes right through her shield. Her gear can't support the hit and she's depowered. I look over at Sho just in time to see an enemy gear strike. Watch out! I boost closer and shoot again. The round connects with the gear just as her attacks connects with Sho. Sho blocks just a second too late and he's depowered. But because she wasn't expecting my attack, she left herself vulnerable and is also depowered. Mei is the only remaining enemy gear.
One more gear and the match is ours.
On it. I boost towards Kairi and Mei, who are locked in a duel. Aura strikes with vigour, but is parried. Mei retaliates with a wide swing, which Kairi barely manages to block. I'm here.
Don't interfere!
Huh?
What?
What do you mean, don't interfere?
Let me handle this!
Cody! This isn't a simulation. It's a real match.
Yeah, what you're saying...
Mei is going down in a one-on-one. She won't have any excuses this way.
So you deliberately wanna be... I get that I get that, like, that she's not doing it because it's more honourable and respectful, right, to face in a one-on-one, right? It's even, 1-to-1, right? We'd have the advantage, but we're in a match. Do you think her friend would be honourable and respectful like that if it was like 2-on-1 with her having the numbers advantage? We have the advantage. We can take her out. But Kairi deliberately wants to put us at an equal footing because she's prideful and arrogant. And I fucking knew all of this would happen. I knew all of this would happen. Okay, it didn't happen the exact way I called it, but Kairi acting how she is well, I knew it from how it would happen from a mile away. It creates for a more interesting story and tension between the characters and character development and all that if we lose. And we're going to lose. I did call it right in that regard, right? It didn't happen exactly the way I thought it would, but I did call it for the most part. It's just not happening exactly how I thought it would. We're going to lose. It's going to be Karen's fault. She's going to hate on her friend, right? Her feelings for her friend are going to be intensified because we lost. And then she's going to blame us, or maybe she'll blame herself. She knows it's her fault that we lost. Especially when we had the advantage and she deliberately took that advantage away from us because she wanted to beat her friend in a one-on-one. Her pride and arrogance got the better of her and she knows that, but she can't admit it to us. So she just, you know, withdraws into a bubble of her own making. And we try to reach out to it. And I fucking knew it, man. Predictable. Fucking predictable. But at least her characters are consistent, I guess. At least I guess her character's consistent. But this has to be a turning point. If this isn't a turning point for Kairi's character, then I'm going to be really disappointed in the story and how it's written. This has to be a turning point for her character. It has to be. If Kairi just continues on as usual, right? She's going to get worse before she gets better because of how her character is. But this should create for a good moment to progress our relationship with her and for her to, you know, change as a person, to grow, right? But she's gonna get worse before she gets better.
This is a team match. You can't put a win in jeopardy because you want to make this personal.
What should I do? I'm gonna engage. Eagle bursts into action.
What are you doing?
I'm not going to just sit here and let her take me out. I participate in her swing. I sidestep my thrusters and counter-attack with my own blade. With no shield activated on her back arc, my swing completely depowers her gear.
Nice one.
Shows the only one to speak.
Guys?
Mayu and Kaori are both silent. Aura sheaths her blade and exits the arena.
8, 20, 49, 11 are the winners!
What's funny, right, is that because she's going to blame us, right? She's going to be angry at us, even though she's the one herself that said, no, we've got an opportunity here to get ahead in the rankings. And we said, like, is it because we're facing May's team? She's like, no, this is an opportunity to get ahead in the rankings. It's got nothing to do with May. But then, what did she do in the match? Made it about May, right? And we did exactly what she wanted us to do. We got ahead in the rankings. We beat her team. And we end up being the better team. We beat her, and we got ahead in the rankings, like Kaori wanted. But we all know the real reason she's going to be angry at us, right? She's going to be angry at us because she wanted that glory. She wanted to beat her friend and prove that she's better than her, right? She made it personal, and because we weren't willing to let her do that, because we're not going to let her fuck the entire team over because she wants to let her feelings control her, right? We're going to get the blame, but we're going to push back. We are going to push back hard. Mark my words, man. Kari's personal vendetta almost cost us the match. We are going to fucking make sure that she knows about it. But we're going to also be there for her as a friend as well. Or as something more, I guess, right? We're going to make sure that we help her through it as best we can. But we're also going to let her know that, you know, she shouldn't have done that. It's not going to go well. It's going to be tense. But let's go. The crowd roars to life. But their excitement doesn't penetrate the friction cloud in our team. That distortion there. Ooh. May's team heads back to their pre-combat room as we head to ours. Here we go. When we enter the pre-combat room, Kari is nowhere to be found. She must already be changing. Sho and I go to change, but May stays back. She must be really upset if she's actively avoiding Kari.
Man, I'm not liking the vibe right now.
Were you expecting me to hang back?
I didn't say that. I probably would have done the same if I were in your position.
It's in the past now.
Yeah.
Sho and I finish changing and head back to the pre-combat room. As soon as we enter, Kari stomps up to me. Mayu is nowhere to be found. Here we go.
Why did you do that?
Do what?
I told you I had it, but you engaged her anyway.
How is that a bad thing? Isn't the goal to win the match?
Yes, but that's not what I mean.
Then what do you mean? She frowned.
You don't understand.
How could he? You aren't making any sense at all.
Kari tenses and glares at Sho.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
No, Cody.
Oh god, man. Here we go. Here we go. Let's fucking go. We turn around to see Mayu. Her jaw is set and her eyes are hard. I've never seen her this upset before. She's chilling. Kari's eyes widen.
Mayu?
You put your personal agenda above the team and risked the match. Our positioning was compromised, and I had no support. Those two were out of position because of an aggressive call that you made. That ended up costing us 2 depowered gears, one of which was avoidable. So no, you do owe us an explanation.
Shit, man. Oh, fucking go. You go, mate. You fucking go. You put her in her fucking place. You go. You fucking go. Her voice is calm but severe. Mayu's ice is a lot more unnerving than any of Kari's fiery outbursts. This is getting out of control. I'm not going to tell Mayu to back off because she's completely in the right. She's absolutely in the right. Kari needs to hear this. She's not going to grow as a human being. She's not going to get over her feelings for May, right, and move past him in a positive and healthy way if she isn't confronted about it. She's stubborn, arrogant, and lets her anger get the better of her. She's not gonna. She needs to be pushed back. Like I said before, though, in the right way and at the right time. This is the right time. People might think it's the wrong time, but this is the right time. Right? It's come to a head, and she needs to be fucking put in her place. She's not gonna grow or change as a person if we don't push back hard. She's that type of person. You can't be gentle about it. You can't sugarcoat your words. You just got to fucking be blunt, put it out there, and push her back fucking hard. That's the only way she'll respond to any of it. At least in my eyes. Although, everyone's super tense, and Mayu's super angry. Kari's really angry. Sho doesn't know what to make of the situation. I think if I say we're waiting for an answer, Kaori, she's just gonna, because of her pride and arrogance, she's just going to be like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm leaving. You know, she's just gonna get angry, I feel like, and be sulky and walk away with a tail between her legs. I think it's better if we try and be a mediator. Because I think if we say we're waiting for an answer and put her on the spot like that, I mean, obviously, like I said before, we've got to put her on the spot and push back hard. But I feel like we've done that. If we do it, if we push we put her on the spot and push back hard. If we push her back any more, she's just going to retaliate, and you know, and her pride will get the better of her, and she'll walk away with her tail between her legs. I know, like, that sounds contradicting, right? It's like, you know, but she's already been put on the spot by me when I said what I said, and then Mayu reinforced putting her on the spot, or I teed her up to be put on the spot, and then Mayu solidified her being put on the spot. She's already on the spot. If we push her any more, we'll get a negative retaliation. We'll get a retaliation from her, and she'll walk away with a tail between her legs, I feel. So she's already been put on the spot. We've already pushed back hard. If we push back any more, I don't think that works out for anybody. Let's all take a deep breath and calm down. They ignore me and continue to glare at each other. Kaori looks between the three of us, then sighs.
I get it. I made a mistake. But I can't be expected to always make the perfect calls.
No, you can't. But you knew the right call to make. You let your anger get the better of you. There was no need to make a perfect call. You just had to make the right one. You knew what the right call was. We discussed it before going into the match. You deliberately went against that call.
We don't expect that from you either. But when you start throwing the blame around...
I'm sorry, okay?
Although she snapped her apology, I can tell it's not because of the lack of sincerity. It's because she's not used to apologising. No, she's not, and that's the problem. Kaori is somebody who is arrogant and stubborn and is fierce, right? She's not used to being put on the spot like that and being pushed back.
It would help if you meant it.
She does mean it. It's just because she's angry, it sounds like she doesn't mean it. She does. It's just, like our character said, she doesn't know how to apologise, but she does mean it. It just, because of her anger and her tone of voice, it sounds like she's being insincere, but she's actually being sincere.
I said I'm sorry! I messed up! It was my fault! Blame me! What else do you want?
Let's drop it. She said sorry already. Joe crosses arms, but nods. At least May seems to have returned to her normal demeanour.
Okay.
We usually celebrate as a team after a win, but I get the feeling that won't happen this time. After picking up our stuff, we exit the pre-combat room. May's waiting for us outside, leaning against the door.
Hey guys, congratulations on the win.
I glance at May, barely registering her presence. I'm too wrapped up with what happened in the pre-combat room. May's smile falters with no one answers.
Wow, with gloomy faces like that, I'd think you were the ones that lost.
Shut up, May!
May flinches from the ferocity of Kaori's voice.
I was just kidding, Kaori.
This is all your fault!
Here we go, the blame game again. I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's, you know, blame me, it's on me. Then all of a sudden, no, actually, it's May's fault. Oh, arrogance, man. Arrogance. May is stunned into silence.
You seriously need to calm down. May didn't do anything.
No, it's really all on you.
You're being too harsh, Kaori.
Kaori's eyes flash.
You guys are taking her side? I thought you were my teammates!
We are. But that's the mark of a good teammate. That's the mark of a good friend. Right? My friend, like Monstrosity, for instance, right? He would put me in my place if I was acting out of line. He would just take my side for no reason. If I'm acting out of line, acting like a cunt, he is going to call me up on being one. That's a good friend. Someone who has your back even when you don't want them to. Who will tell you what you want, what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. because they want you to improve and grow as a person. But you're not going to do that if they blindly just take your side, even if you're in the wrong. They will call you up on your shit because they want you to address it and face it. But Kaori, you know, again, too up her own arse to see that.
You aren't taking anyone's side, but since the match, you've been acting like a complete...
Sho!
Sho catches himself and falls silent. Kaori looks at him.
A complete what?
Jackass.
Nothing.
She pauses. When she finally speaks, her voice cracks.
I see. That's how you really feel.
Sho's look softens.
No, I didn't mean that.
You did, and it's true. But I get what Mayu's saying. Mayu's saying what we said earlier, right? Being angry at each other and calling each other names and stuff isn't going to help anybody. That's just going to intensify the situation.
You.
She lowers her head.
You always turn my friends against me.
No one's turned anyone against you. You've turned us against you yourself. She spins on her heel and walks away. When she thinks she's out of eyesight, she starts running. Kaori disappears. Sho's about to rush after her when May blocks his path.
I have to go apologize. I didn't mean what I said.
May sighs.
You need to give her space right now, or you'll just make it worse.
Sho looks torn, but doesn't try to follow Kaori.
I don't think I've ever seen her too upset to yell.
May looks down worriedly at her feet.
I was too mean to her earlier. I'm sorry.
No, you weren't too mean to her. You were right to say what you said, Sho, and you were right to say what you said, Mayu. She had to hear it. She had to be put on the spot like that. She had to be pushed back hard. We was right to do this.
You guys shouldn't blame yourselves. Kaori just needs time to cool off.
No, she needs more than that. She needs someone to be there for her and help her to face this. You sound like you speak from experience. What's up with her saying, you always turn my friends against me?
It's a long story. Something that happened back in middle school.
Something to do with Ryuta. You two go way back.
Yeah, we do.
May's pocket vibrates. She pulls out her phone and reviews the message.
My team is wondering where I am. Don't worry too much about Kaori. She'll be okay. I'll talk to her when she's calmed down.
We nod and watch May head out. I don't feel any less guilty.
I shouldn't have acted that way earlier.
No, it was my stupid comments. I never should have said something like that.
I guess they still feel guilty too. No, I'll go check on her. She needs someone to help her face all of this, and we're not going to get close to her if we don't share these moments with her. It's important to give her space, but if we give her space, she's just going to calm down, blame herself, get more into a hole, dig herself more of a hole, and she's either going to like change but for the worse, or she's just going to stay the same, which doesn't help anybody. She needs someone to help show her, you know, light, show her a good path to go down, because she's too confused and frustrated, and her emotions are too out all over the place to know what path is right to take. She needs someone to help guide her through all of that. I'll go see if she's okay.
No, let me do it.
I don't think she'll be too happy to see you right now, Sho.
He's right.
Sho frowns, but doesn't protest. You guys can head out. I'll text you once everything is okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. There's no point in you guys just standing around here.
Let us know if we can help.
Will do. I wave at the pair and jog into the direction Kaori went. The sun dips low in the sky as the evening rolls in. I search several locations for Kaori until I arrive at one of the more secluded campus quads. There's only one student sitting on the bench with a bag at her feet. Kaori's face is bent over her chest, and I can hear faint sniffles. I'm gonna embrace her. You don't need any words. You just need someone. She just needs to let someone know that you know, in her weakest moment when she thinks like she's turned everyone against her, that we're still there for her. And a hug symbolizes that. You don't need to have any words. A hug is, a powerful action like a hug will show all of that to her. She shouldn't be alone right now. Not when she's hurting like this. I want to wrap my arms around her and let her know that I'm here for her. There's no turning back once I do this. Should I go through with it? Yes, of course. Yes. Carrie. She's startled by my presence and jumps to her feet.
I wasn't...
She grabs at her bag but misses.
I have to go.
I grab her hand and she turns away from me and pull her into my chest. She freezes as I wrap my arms around her. At first, she doesn't move. Then she begins to squirm, but I refuse to let go. It's okay, Carrie. I'm here. You're not alone. Slowly, her body relaxes, but her breathing is uneven. Tiny droplets of moisture drip onto my shoulder. I pull her closer and let her cry for as long as she needs. She returns my embrace and leans her head on my shoulder. I don't know how long we stay like this before Carrie calms down. As her breathing steadies, I gently pull away. Carrie's hands linger on me before they drop to her side. She sits back down on the bench and I sit beside her. Are you okay, Carrie? She nods as her gaze locks onto mine.
I was being pretty stupid, wasn't I? Sho was trying to tell me I was wrong. Even Mayu was upset.
She sighs.
And the worst part is that they have every right to be mad at me. I know I'm not the easiest person to be around. And you've all been so patient with me. Just knowing that you guys are upset. That it was me who hurt my friends.
She chokes up. You're only human. You have to move on. Yeah. Things like this happen. That's just how life is. You can't take things so hard. You have to keep going forward. Carrie looks at me.
You think so?
I know so. Carrie wipes away her remaining tears and takes a deep breath.
It wasn't just the match.
What do you mean?
It's just been a really stressful week. And I guess it finally got to me.
She plays with the sleeve of her blazer.
I've been putting in a lot of hours at the daycare, and midterms are coming up. I need to maintain my marks to keep my scholarships, and it's also overwhelming. And to add to all of that, we had to go against May.
Speaking of which, what's the history between you and May? She's quiet and I wonder if she'll answer.
She and I were best friends until she betrayed me.
What did she do? Carrie sighs.
It was back in middle school. I told her a secret crush I had, and she went and blurted it out to him.
You mean Ryuta? She glances sharply at me.
I forgot you knew. Yeah, Ryota. Long story short, that ruined my friendship with both him and May.
Are you sure about that? May still treats you like your best friends.
I know. That annoys me even more. It's as if she doesn't believe she did anything wrong. She doesn't believe it's her fault that I lost both of my best friends.
Ryota was her best friend? For some reason that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. I didn't know you were that close to Ryota. It was a long time ago though. It shouldn't matter now. Kairi looks questioning at me.
Well, yeah. The three of us were inseparable. That's why I can't forgive May.
I think that's why she acts like nothing happened. I think she's trying to reach out and make amends. I think the reason she pretends nothing happened is because she misses you.
Really?
She speaks softly, and although she tries to play it cool, I can tell that she's thinking about my words. Yeah. She falls silent. I enjoy the silence with her. A soft breeze rustles the leaves in the trees and feels cool on my skin. I listen to the hum of nature and let the tranquility wash over me. Kairi stirs beside me. I think I see a blush in her cheeks.
Thanks.
Where's my reward, Carrie? What? That's all I get? All I get is a thank you? Carrie tilts her head.
Were you expecting something else?
Well, usually the hero gets a reward. Carrie blinks, then nods.
Okay, I get it. Close your eyes.
She's gonna punch me in the dick, isn't she? I'm gonna get punched in the dick. Whoa. Did that actually work? I close my eyes and my cheeks flush as I anticipate what's coming next. Instead, I receive a sharp flick to my forehead. I blink open my eyes and see Carrie holding back a smile.
Pervert.
I rub my forehead. What do you mean, pervert?
Your stupid grin couldn't have been more obvious. You were thinking about something weird.
Would that be so bad? To my surprise, she blushes.
Of course it would be bad, idiot. Anyways, it's starting to get late. I'm going to head home.
I nod. Want me to walk back with you?
No, it's okay. You've already done a lot for me.
Are you sure? She nods. Alright. She stands up and picks up her bag.
Thanks again. I'll see you tomorrow.
I smile. See you then. When she disappears around the corner, I head back to my bike. I replay Carrie and my conversation in the quad as I drive myself home. My thoughts always slip back to that one moment when her arms wrap around my back. The house is quiet when I arrive home. I'm a little relieved as I'm exhausted, so I head straight to bed and fall fast asleep. I turn off my alarm and stretch, then let out a groan. Yesterday was a really intense day, and I'm certainly feeling it now. At least it's Friday. With a regretful sigh, I roll out of bed and prepare for my classes. I wonder how Carrie is today. I'm about to text her when I hesitate. I don't want to seem overbearing. Carrie needs some space to process everything that happened yesterday. I'm confident she'll find me when she's ready. I grab a quick breakfast and drive to school. Yuna is waiting for me in class and smiles broadly when I sit next to her. Hi, Yuna.
Hey! Sorry we haven't had a chance to catch up. How did your meeting go with Yuri?
It wasn't as bad as I anticipated, even though he asked a lot of questions.
About Eagle?
No, he was interested in my time back at Cine. She blinks in genuine surprise.
Oh, I was under the impression he was curious about Eagle.
It's okay, I don't mind. Clearly he's done his homework about how teams are run in the States because he didn't seem surprised by anything I shared. Yuna nods.
There's a reason why he's the youngest account manager to manage a team at Dashu.
Have you talked to him about it yet?
Yes. He said that you show a lot of promise, and he's confident that if the rest of your teammates are as determined as you are, then you'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
That's it? She throws her brow in concern.
Yeah. Should he have said anything else?
I guess he was serious when he said I should talk to her about her brother. Actually, maybe now isn't the right time to bring up this conversation. Bombarding her right before class doesn't seem like smart timing. The professor will get here and start class before we have a chance to talk, and Yuna will probably spend all of class stressing out about this. Yeah, how he's clearly into me. I mean, he was asking me a lot of questions.
Is that bad?
No, but clearly he was trying to get to know me pretty well.
I don't understand. Wasn't that the point of meeting you?
I sigh. Yes it was. The professor enters the room and gets settled. She doesn't get the joke. She doesn't get it.
Please open your textbooks to page 81. Your assignments are on the web link. Have a great day.
You and I pack up our things and walk out of class together. Do you have another class to go to?
No, but I have to meet my physiotherapy professor. I'm a TA for his class.
I didn't know you were a TA.
Yep, I don't usually help out in his Friday classes, but he's holding exams today, so I need to be there. Do you have any other classes?
No, but I'm kind of hungry. I'll grab lunch in the pilot's lounge. Your face lights up.
Oh, you're lucky. They're supposed to have really good food.
They do. And they have portions, sorry, they do. And they have options from other countries. I had a cheeseburger once from there. Yuna's eyes grow wide.
I love cheeseburgers.
Doesn't the dining hall serve them too? She wrinkles her nose.
I don't think what they serve in the dining hall can even be considered food.
Where do you eat lunch?
The hot dog cart.
Oh yeah. Forgot we had a hot dog stand. I didn't know you actually ate there.
You should try it. They're so good.
You really like American food, don't you?
Yes.
Yuna checks the time.
Oops, I'm going to be late. I'll see you later.
Bye. I wave as she dashes off. Alone, I make my way to the pilot's lounge. Excuse me. I check out the menu on display in the lounge. There's the usual Japanese fare that I can find in the dining hall too. Today's special is Napolitan spaghetti, popularly known as ketchup spaghetti. The bartender approaches me and waits expectantly. Why not? When in Rome. Or I guess in this case, when in Japan. One Napoleon spaghetti, please. The bartender nods. He brings me my order and I take it to an empty table. As soon as I sit down, someone slides into the seat across from me. I'm ready to apologise and ask if the table was taken, when I take a look at the girl smiling at me. May?
Is this seat taken?
No, you can sit here.
Thanks.
This is a little uncomfortable after what happened yesterday. I think she feels it too.
So, how's Kaori?
She'll be okay. May nods.
I thought so. I haven't seen her that upset since.
She hesitates. Since Ryota? May blinks, but seems relieved.
Oh, Kaori told you about Ryota?
Something like that.
Did she say it was all my fault?
It was certainly implied. May sighs.
I wish I'd never said anything.
I blink. May doesn't strike me as someone who has many regrets. She's always cheerful and seems to take whatever life throws at her in stride. I believe that you meant well.
Thanks. If only Kaori could see that. I wasn't trying to ruin her friendship with Ryota, or my friendship with her. They would have been so cute together. You know, if Ryota hadn't been such a jerk. And how awesome would it have been if my two friends ended up together?
Sounds like you were excited for her.
I was. Even back then, Kaori was more reserved around people. She didn't like to show her feelings. So I was so excited when she told me she liked Ryota.
If he was such a jerk, why were you friends with him?
He wasn't always like that. Honestly, I don't know why he exploded the way he did. We used to do everything together. His family even took us on their vacations. I knew him back in elementary school when he still had huge glasses and would tell goofy jokes that were too smart to be funny. Kids used to pick on him a lot. So we entered middle school and he worked hard to change his image. He lost the glasses and became more serious. The more I think about it, the more I think he stuck with us out of obligation, rather than true feeling. We were his only friends for a long time, until he hit his growth spurt. Then all the girls were suddenly interested.
Typical. May looks thoughtful.
Actually, I think it was when the other girls started to notice him that Kaori liked him too.
Makes sense. Did you still keep in touch with him?
Of course not.
She hits the table for emphasis.
I told him all that stuff in confidence.
thinking maybe it would give him a push to make a move. Well, he made a move, all right. He went out of his way to hurt Calorie. What kind of friend is that? That's not a person I want to associate with. It's just frustrating that Calorie would lump me into the same category as him.
Thank you, May.
Huh? For what?
I finally understand why Carrie acts so Carrie-like. May's eyes widen.
You think I turned her into that?
It makes sense. She's withdrawn, quick to make judgments, stubborn. May laughs.
She's sort of always been like that, I think. She's always been stubborn, at least.
If it's been so long, why do you still try so hard with her? May looks at me as if I've sprouted a third arm.
She's my friend. I left her alone for a while so she could cool off. And I admit, I was angry at her for a long time too. But then I saw her withdraw completely.
Yeah, and that's my point. She might have always had those traits, but they were solidified or made stronger when that happened, right? Like, telling her friend in confidence that she likes their other best friend, and then having that best friend humiliate her like that, right? It just makes her feel like she can't ever be vulnerable with anybody, because she tells somebody something in confidence, they'll just betray her. And she was made very... Not only did she open herself up to you, but she feels like you betrayed her trust by telling him that she liked him, and it was made even worse when he turned on her like that, in the way that he did, which just solidified those feelings even more, those traits that she has even more. Maybe she did have those traits, but I feel like they were made much stronger when that happened. That was a turning point for her, and obviously she's just confirmed it. It wasn't deliberate on May's part to instill those traits in her, but she made them stronger by doing what she did. Her intentions were pure and sincere, but because of their friend doing what he did to her, that just made her just, further, develop those traits.
No one should be alone. I know she hasn't forgiven me yet, but she will.
How can you be so sure?
It might take her a little longer, but in the end, Calorie always sees reason.
May is completely confident that Calorie would forgive her. That must be how she can still act so familiarly with her, even though Calorie doesn't reciprocate those feelings. I have to admit, I kind of admire May for that.
Anyway, since I really didn't get the chance to say it yesterday, congrats on your win.
I blink. Oh, thanks.
But don't get used to it. Anna Bugeisha has a lot of practicing to do. It won't be that easy the next time we battle.
You call that easy? I wouldn't say that was easy. Your team put up a good fight. May grins.
I know.
From the corner of my eye, I spot Kara and Sho enter the pilot's lounge. Sho's still alive and in one piece. They must have worked things out with each other. That's a relief. Carrie searches the room and briefly makes eye contact with me before glancing away. Then, to my surprise, she walks over to us. Sho follows. May is just as surprised when Kara and Sho sit with us.
What's going on, Brosif?
Nothing much. Where's May?
Class.
I look over at Carrie. Hey, Carrie.
Hi.
She looks sideways at May.
Hi, May.
May doesn't react right away. Then squeals in delight and throws her arms around Carrie.
Hi! May! Stop it!
Carrie pulls away in a huff when May laughs. The four of us continue to chat together. The tensions felt from yesterday are completely gone. As if the day never happened. May even got Carrie to laugh. So is this a Twilight Zone? Am I dead? Eventually, we all go our separate ways as everyone heads to their class or other obligations. I still have some free time. I mean, I've got to let the thing at the beach go. Everyone kind of assumed. But I think I feel like, people obviously moved past it and didn't think too much of it. They obviously had their suspicions, but if they truly believed in those suspicions, then they wouldn't treat us the way that they are now, right? You know, they clearly didn't hold it against us. You know, they were just obviously they assumed and went with that assumption which they shouldn't have, but it wasn't just show. And you know, he still says, you know, bro, and he still treats us like a bro. So obviously, you know, I mean, I'm still mad at him, and I'll get my own back. I'll wait for an opportunity. But I feel maybe we should hang out with Sho. We could talk to Yuna and ask her about her brother, but at the end of the day, you know, if she doesn't want to bring it up, she doesn't want to bring it up. Plus, I don't want to accidentally trigger an emotional connection with her. Maybe it's too late to do that, but I think we should go with Sho. I'm in the mood for a sweet latte, so I decide to make my way across the campus quad towards the cafe.
Watch out!
Ninja reflex. I instinctively sidestep and watch a frisbee fly past my head. The three guys approach me, and I recognize Sho as one of them.
Broseph? Sorry about that.
Excellent work, Sho. I especially like the part where you did the mid-air twirl and completely whiffed your throw.
That was going to be a legendary move. It just so happens that my fingers were a little sweaty.
Sure.
The two guys glance at each other, then laugh. Wait, don't I have class with these guys? One of them turns towards me.
Anyway, you okay?
His eyes widen when he recognizes me.
It's the chick magnet!
Yep, I have class with them.
You're right!
Wait, what? Where?
They both point to me.
This guy.
This guy?
This guy!
I'm pretty sure they're referring to the first time I met Valerie in class. Hey guys.
You know each other?
Yeah, he's been teaching us how to pick up the ladies.
What?
Don't deny your talents. We've seen you hanging around campus with that blonde bombshell.
Well, yeah, she's our team engineer. Sho perks up.
Oh, you guys mean Valerie?
You know her too?
They both stare at Sho with awe.
Your childhood friend, the girl from gymnastics, and now the engineer chick too?
Damn, Sho!
Damn! The way he says it. Sho looks just as perplexed as I do.
What are you guys rambling about?
The pair share a knowing look with each other, then cross their arms and nod.
We have a ways to go.
But one day, we'll reach your level.
Sho shrugs.
Anyway...
He looks at me.
What brings you here, Broseph?
Just heading to the cafe. You?
I was just showing these guys an awesome frisbee throw I saw on MeTube.
Awesome, he says.
They laugh again.
Oh, I'll show you. Watch!
Sho grabs the frisbee and takes a few steps back to give himself space. Then he takes a running start to build momentum. Jump spins in the air and whips the frisbee free. It goes flying. They actually looked pretty cool. Even the two other guys are impressed. The frisbee curves back like a boomerang, but instead of coming back to us, it heads straight for a well-dressed older man in a blazer.
Crap! Not again! Watch out!
The man catches the frisbee mid-air. He looks around and makes a beeline towards us when he spots us. Uh-oh.
It was nice hanging out with you, but, we've got class.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.
Wait, where are you going? What about your frisbee?
Keep it!
The two friends speed away into the distance.
Cowards!
Sho looks at me and gulps. As the man approaches, his eyes widen in surprise. But not as clearly as wide, it's not nearly as wide as Sho's.
Akio.
Hello, Sho.
They look eerily similar. You two know each other? She nods.
This is my brother.
All trace of laughter is gone from his voice. He's strangely stiff and formal. It's obvious he's not very comfortable around his brother.
I'm Akio Shinjiro.
Holy sharp. He smiles politely.
What are you doing here?
I'm the guest lecturer for Robotics and the modern business world.
Why didn't you tell me you were coming?
Although Show's careful to keep any sense of bitterness or disapproval from his voice, it's clear he's not pleased by this surprise. They don't act very brotherly.
I only arrived a few hours ago. I was going to text you after the first lecture.
Yeah, but you could have told him prior to coming. He smiles.
But since you're here, let's pencil in something for the weekend.
Show shrugs.
I'll have to check my schedule first.
Akio nods.
Of course. Let's say tentative for Saturday.
Sure, but I might be busy.
Then let me know when you can.
Akio looks at me.
You're welcome to join us. I'd like to get to know Show's friends he doesn't share much about.
Don't you have a lecture to go to?
Akio sighs. He checks his watch.
Correct. Let's continue this conversation over the weekend.
Bye.
Goodbye.
As Akio disappears into a nearby building, I look at Show. His jaw is set and his eyes are clouded. This is really out of character for him. Why are you being a jackass? You were a bit of a dick to your bro. Show glares at me.
You don't know him like I do.
What do you mean?
He's not as he seems. I don't trust him just showing up out of the blue.
I'm sure he knows his brother best, but I didn't get that feeling.
He lives and works in London, so the fact that he's here is very suspicious.
Well, he said he was invited to lecture for a class. Show doesn't seem convinced.
It's too convenient. And why now?
Regardless, he did come all this way. Aren't you going to at least see him this weekend? Show sighs.
Yes, but only because he'll be a nuisance if I don't.
Do you want me to come on Saturday?
If you want to.
I don't want to intrude.
No, it's fine. Actually, I think I prefer you coming. Maybe then I'll be on his best behavior.
Now, I don't want to come, but like, you know, if I'm going to support a friend, I will. And I feel that counts as me getting back in because I fucking called him out and being a jackass to his brother. So even though maybe I've not got the right to say that because I don't know what I don't know him, I don't know his brother like he does. I assumed he was acting like a jackass, even though he feels like he's got a good reason to, right? Like he did on the beach when he assumed of all of them that I was being the P word or P word like, even though I had nothing to do with what they were doing, right? And I didn't instigate it or anything. So I feel like I've got back at him for calling him out and being a jackass, acting like a jackass, and assuming that he's just acting like a jackass for no reason towards his brother. So I feel like that counts as the comeback. So yeah, I think that counts. We're even now. Okay. This is getting really awkward. Part of me thinks it would be a bad idea to go, but maybe I can help mediate and smooth things over between them. Anyway, he hasn't got a voice line for this reason. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna head off. I don't have a voice for him. All right, have a good one. Show nods and heads towards his dorm. I can't help but feel a bit uneasy from that entire exchange. My phone rings unexpectedly. It's Valerie. Hello?
I've got a surprise for you. Come to the hangar.
What is... She hung up. Of course she hung up. I guess I better go see what's up. After I swipe myself into the hangar, I make a beeline to Eagle. Valerie is perched in front of my terminal, but jumps up once she sees me. She moves from the terminal and gestures for me to sit.
Voila.
I stare at the scrolling code on the screen. She's got to stop acting like I can read this stuff. What is this?
It's a manual documentation. It needs to be cleaned up before it can be fully understood, though.
So, you called me over to show me something that's not complete? Valerie pouts.
If you were even a little bit technical, you'd be able to understand this achievement. Besides, my script is parsing it as we speak. It'll be done in a few minutes.
We wait patiently for our program to finish running. I watch as she keeps an eye on her script. She's confident in her program, yet keeps glancing at it, exposing the eagerness beneath her calm demeanour. I can't help but wonder, how did you get into engineering?
Girls can't be engineers.
Here we go. That's not what I said. Valerie laughs.
It's like a puzzle.
What?
Taking things apart and putting it back together. Finding new ways to piece everything together to make it a better product. The possibilities are endless, even if we can't see all the solutions just yet.
Are you just discovered? Sorry, and you just discovered that by accident? She shrugs and becomes strangely aloof.
Things broke around the house a lot. If I didn't fix it, then it would be broken forever.
Why not just buy a new one?
It always worked fine once fixed. Why spend that extra money?
But why did you have to fix it? Why not your parents? She frowns in disdain.
My mom couldn't be bothered with things like that. If the computer broke, she'd pretend the problem didn't exist until she needed to use it. Then she'd go and buy a new one because she needed to use it immediately. Money was always tight, and that's why I started trying to fix things. The first thing I ever properly fixed was my bike. I was 15, and my neighbor at the time was a young woman at university. She helped me fix it, and when she learned I was interested in this stuff, she gave me a bunch of how-to books for my birthday.
I guess I was lucky that my dad was pretty handy. He taught me how to take care of my things. Valerie grins playfully.
Could have fooled me. Eagle's always a little worse for wear by the time he gets to me. Isn't that right, Eagle?
She cues affectionately at my gear. It's not a puppy. A sharp beep interrupts our conversation. Valerie whips back towards the screen.
It's done.
Valerie and I both lean to get a better look at the screen. I turn my head to ask her a question when her hair brushes my cheek. It's soft and smells like flowers. I didn't realise how close we were to each other until now. Valerie is too focused on the screen to notice. Her slender fingers dance across the keyboard.
This makes a lot of sense.
What makes a lot of sense?
Why your core only activated that one time? The function of the core was set to debug mode with a single run instance.
English, please.
The overdrive mode was meant to be used for testing purposes, so it was set to only activate once.
What does that mean?
It means if we can figure out how to change this setting and find out the parameters of activation, you could use the overdrive mode on demand.
My eyes widen as I consider the possibilities. Are you serious?
Yeah! In theory, anyway.
She squints at the code.
That's not even the best part. Here are blueprints with algorithms and formulas.
What did they say? Valerie puts a finger to her lip.
It seems to be incomplete, but we might be able to use this and a bit of reverse engineering to fill in the gaps. If we can figure this out, we can understand the details of the core.
Only women came with a manual too. I don't think we should say that. She made a joke about, because I can't be honest because I'm a woman. She clearly doesn't like being being stereotyped like that, right? Even though she's making a joke about it, I feel like that it's possible if we made that joke. She could fire back at us in a flirtatious way that she does. I don't know. No, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. So, completing this code will help us learn everything we need to know to use my core.
Yes, of course.
I wish understanding women were that easy. She laughs.
It is, once you unlock the code.
Ah, yeah, okay, alright. She fired back. Okay, good. That's pretty much impossible. Why did Dad include this function for my core? Why didn't he tell me? I have so many questions and too few answers. Let's keep this a secret.
A secret?
Yeah. There's no point in getting the team's hopes up when we don't even know how There's no point in getting the team's hopes up when we don't even know if this will work. Plus, I don't need anyone snooping around my gear. I look pointedly at Valerie. She smiles innocently.
What? That's what brought us together. Are you saying you wish you'd never met me?
Of course not. But one Valerie is more than enough. She smirks.
Don't I feel special?
Valerie gets to work and I watch her for a while. She's working too fast for me to comprehend what she's doing, and I don't want to interrupt her groove to explain it to me. After a few minutes, she glances back at me.
How about you sit in this chair and I'll watch you work?
I guess she doesn't like me looking over her shoulder. I don't blame her. I hate that too. I'll give you some space then. She turns back to the terminal.
Thanks. I'll let you know once I'm done.
After saying goodbye, I leave her to do her thing. Excuse me. I've still got some time before I head home tonight. What do I feel like doing? Valerie's the only one? Alright. I wonder what Valerie is up to. I dial her number and wait for her to answer.
Hello?
Hey Valerie, you busy?
Yeah, I'm about to go meet a friend for some coffee.
I have a feeling I know who it is. You mean me?
Of course. I'll meet you at the cafe in front of the bookstore.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you in a bit.
Au revoir.
I make my way to the cafe. Valerie's waiting for me in a booth by the time I arrive.
It's rude to keep a lady waiting.
You? A lady? Then it's a good thing there are no ladies here. I certainly wouldn't want her to wait. Valerie pouts.
What am I if not a lady?
You're indescribable. He raises an eyebrow.
Indescribable. As in?
As in, indescribable. After a moment, she shrugs.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Have you ordered yet?
No, I was waiting for a certain someone to get their butt over here.
So what I'm hearing is you want to see my butt. Valerie smirks.
Give me a twirl then.
I put the Maximus in Gluteus Maximus. I'm full for your objectification. Without hesitation, I jump to my feet and give her a leisurely turn, then throw in a small wiggle for good measure. Valerie works hard to keep a straight face.
That just made the wait worth it.
I knew it would. I flip open the menu and take a minute to read my options. Valerie and I both place our orders. Then she pulls out a pencil and a sketchbook. What are you doing?
Not me, you.
Huh? She pushes the sketchbook towards me and grins playfully.
I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
I can try, as you wish. If you insist, but you'll have to describe first. If you insist, but you'll have to disrobe first, as all of my French girls are painted in their purest form. Valerie grins devilishly and slips one shoulder out of her jacket, then the other. My eyes widen as I drink in the scene. Can't believe that worked. Thank you, God. She slowly shimmers her arms out of her jacket.
Okay, I've disrobed for you.
She laughs at my lack of disappointment. She laughs at my look of disappointment. She leans onto the table, rests her chin in her hands, and flashes me a warm smile. Taking this as my cue to start drawing, I clumsily trace a pencil around the page. As hard as I try, my uncoordinated fingers cannot illustrate what my eyes see.
Are you done yet?
Valerie speaks through her teeth, trying not to disturb her pose. No. I continue to sketch. After a few minutes, Valerie tries again.
How about now?
Still no. She waits another couple of minutes.
Now?
Calm down. It'll be done when it's done. She sighs heavily.
The things I have to do for you.
In case you forgot, you're the one who asked me to draw you, and you can't rush these things.
Shouldn't you be concentrating? What are you doing talking to me?
You're the one talking to me.
If you spent more time on your drawing and less time blaming me for things, you'd be done by now.
I glare at her. She winks before returning to her pose. We fall silent as I work on the drawing. Valerie stares confidently at me, never looking away when I glance up at her. For some reason, that makes me even more nervous. I push away my embarrassment and focus on her features. For all the times I've looked at her, I haven't really seen just how perfectly her features flow into each other. It's the first time I've noticed just how truly beautiful she is, and my face flashes from the thought. The next time I glance up at Valerie, her smile looks more genuine. I know she saw me blush, and that makes me blush even more. After a few minutes, I drop my pencil. Okay, done. Valerie breaks from her pose.
Let me see.
Pushing forward the sketchbook, I wonder if she'll like that I drew her. with big old biddies as accurately as possible, like an ironing board. Oh, that makes it even funnier when I know the context of the story. Oh yeah, we're going for that one. She looks at my drawing and her eyes grow wide.
What is this?
She points accusingly at the page. A drawing.
Look closer.
Her fingers point right to the chest. This is an accurate representation. No, I'm gonna play dumb. I don't get it. What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
I just said that I don't... She looks hard at me. Okay. I have to figure this out myself. I focus again on the drawing and zoom into where her finger points. A space below the neck, but above the... I've got it. Oh! I forgot to draw you in your necklace. Leaning over the table, I quickly add in a thin chain to hang below her throat. Valerie stares at me in disbelief.
Are you serious? That's what you think is missing?
She leans over the table.
There's something else missing.
She continues to lean forward, resting her chest on the table so it pushes her breasts up. My eyes are drawn to her chest and my heat rises in my cheeks. I think I've got it. Valerie follows my line of sight before I look away.
Are you sure?
When I look back at her, she's grinning, which causes me to blush further. Yes. She falls back to her seat, still grinning.
Better late than never, I guess.
Valerie glances at the time and wrinkles her nose. I don't know if I clipped that in time, but we'll see.
I've got class soon.
Don't sound so excited about it. I feel like this time, and then when we were at the mech, like I then noticed it before how she smells, how like good she smells for until we were close to her, and then I'm saying how beautiful she looks now. I'm like, careful, man. All right, we're invested in Carrie. You know, I mean, our character probably wouldn't like it so much if in fact, I think he did make a point about that. I don't know if it was a show or when we were talking to Carrie, but I think he was talking about, like, why does that make me feel uncomfortable? I can't remember exactly what the words he used, but, like, when he mentioned that how close Carrie... I think when it was mentioned how close Carrie Ryu to her and that she liked him, he felt a ways about it. Probably, you know, a little jealous, right? And we wouldn't like it if Carrie was flirting with another guy, you know? Knowing that, you know, knowing that she knows how close we're getting, you know? So we can be a little playful with Valerie because we're not actually, we don't mean it, right? We're just playing about, but we've got to be careful about it because, you know, I know I would feel a ways about it if I saw Carrie doing what we do with Valerie, you know. So we obviously we don't mean anything by it. We're just playing around. We're just you know, we're just joking, right? We don't actually mean it, but I've got to be careful because I wouldn't want to rub Carrie the wrong way, you know, give her the wrong impression, you know. Obviously, if the option came up to do anything with Valerie, we'd decline it, obviously, right? Because this is just playful. We don't actually mean it because, you know, Carrie's the one we want to be with. So I've got to be careful. But like twice now, it's like at least twice now. I'm like, at first it was not a big deal, right? Because we haven't got close to Carrie yet. But now we're getting close to Carrie, especially after that moment at the bench. We've got to watch how we interact with Valerie. So like we have to treat her like a, you know, we can't be playful with her, but we've got to be careful about it.
It's not a fun one.
Which one is it?
Introduction to Art History.
Don't you like art?
I do. And since I also like history, I thought this would be a good choice for one of my electives.
So why the disappointment?
Well, it turns out that although I like history and I like actually creating art, learning about other people creating art is not as fun.
So, was watching me create art for you today not fun either? She smirks.
That doesn't count. I was part of the creative process.
That's true. She glances again at the time and gathers her things.
Okay, I've got to head out.
I nod. As we pay for our drinks, we head separate ways, but not before I catch Valerie fondly sneak another peek at my drawing. The house is quiet when I get home. Uncle Kato's still working his crazy hours, and Nikki's probably still at her club. Stifle in a yawn, Damn it. So after a yawn, I trudge upstairs. It's been a long day and all I want to do is relax. And that's the first time I've done that this stream. As I pass by Nikki's room, I hear notice her door is closed. Huh. I guess she is home after all. I think nothing of it until I hear a deep, extremely male laugh behind Nikki's closed door. Nikki's giggle shortly follows. What is this? There's a boy in Nikki's room? And they're behind closed doors? Not on my watch. I burst into her room. Nikki's eyes widen and her mouth drops open. The boy twists to look at me from the chair beside the bed. There's a boy in your room?
What are you doing?
Who is this guy? Nikki leaps from the bed and tries to push me away, but I stay rooted to the ground. Is this Ken? I can't leave without you. Oh man. I turn to the guy, ignoring Nikki pulling on my arm. Are you Ken? And is your last name Yen? He freezes like a deer in headlights and stammers out an affirmation.
Yes?
Ken Yen Gogen.
Leave him alone. We're just studying.
Studying? Is that what you kids are calling it these days?
Yes? What? No! Studying as in studying!
She points to her bed. I take another look around the room. Nikki's bed is sprawled with books, tablets and laptops. Ken is holding an open textbook in his lap. A look of pure terror on his face. I'm not fooled. I know underneath that good kid facade there's a demon just waiting to pounce on my cute, innocent Imutu.
Ken is in my class and we have an exam next week.
I glare at Ken, who cowers from my stare.
So, now that you know nothing weird is happening, get out!
I cross my arms. Actually, I think I'll stay and help you two study.
What?
Whatever you're learning now, I already studied.
Don't you have your own homework you can do? We're studying fine without you.
Are you sure about that? I think Ken here would appreciate the help. Right, Ken? I glare at Ken, who gulps hard and nods.
Actually, it would be an honor to have the help of an ace pilot.
No, it wouldn't.
I narrow my eyes at Ken, very suspicious. Move him out of the room. Don't try anything silly. I've got my eyes on you. Fine.
Does that mean you'll leave now?
I never break eye contact with Ken. I'm watching you. So whatever you're thinking, don't. Ken nods rapidly, clearly shaken.
I won't. I mean, I'm not thinking. I mean, not like that.
I give him one final glare before walking out of the room. Nikki goes to close the door. Door open. She rolls her eyes.
Fine, if that'll make you stop being crazy.
Before I leave, I make the universal "I'm watching you" sound with my fingers. Ken's eyes widen even further. Oh man. Luckily, my room is across from Nikki's. I leave my door open too while I try to work on my assignments. I'm too distracted to focus, so I strain to hear what they're talking about. Every so often I hear them repeat a math formula or compare answers on equations. I guess they are really studying. This time. Eventually, I give up and watch videos on MeTube. After about 2 hours, Ken goes home. Nikki slams the door shut to her room. Sheesh, what's her problem? You're being an overprotective arsewipe? I don't know. Now that I can finally focus again, I finish up my assignments and easily fall asleep afterwards. It's been a long stream. Gone a little bit longer than normal. I don't know, I just feel like I guess I felt like going a little bit more. But it is getting a little late. I think I'll go a little bit longer and then I'll call it. I wake up naturally for once and enjoy my sleep. I woke up naturally for once and enjoy my chance to sleep in. Is this what it feels like to be rested? Why doesn't this happen every day? With a wide yawn, I pull my arms over my head to stretch, then throw back my comforter and hop out of bed. My tablet flashes with a notification. I have an email. Curious. I open up the email and read it. It's from Dashu. They're hosting a promotional photo shoot and networking event tomorrow, right before XE's big concert. All sponsored Dasher teams and individuals will be there. And after the shoot, we are welcome to stay for the concert. But there's 2 4s there. Huh. Wait, Dasher sponsors XE? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Dasher might be breaking into the world of mecha, but they're a huge name in the sports and entertainment industry. Still, XE is a supremely popular pop star. His shows get sold out within minutes. There's no way I'm passing up such an opportunity. I quickly type out a response confirming my attendance. I'm positive everyone else on the team will go as well, if only for a chance to meet XE. I grab my clothes for the day. I get changed. As soon as I grab my phone, it rings out but cuts out immediately after the first ring. That's weird. I glance at my missed calls. It was Kaori. I bet she's going to ask me about the Dashu event. I call her back, but she doesn't pick up. I go downstairs into the kitchen. Nobody's home again. It's like I live alone. I open in the fridge. I spot a covered plate left for me. I unwrap the foil to find oyakodon. Not a traditional breakfast, but delicious nonetheless. Nikki must have been practicing her recipes. As I dig in, I glance at my phone. Still no response from Kaori. I'm starting to get a little concerned. She wouldn't call if she didn't have a good reason. So why isn't she responding? This isn't like her at all. I think something is bothering her. My heart drops as my mind wanders to the worst possible scenarios. She must be hurt and tried to call for help. She unconscious? There's no other reason she'd be acting this way. As the series races in my mind, I take it... Pardon me, Jesus Christ. I take a deep breath to clear my head. I'm overreacting. It's probably nothing. But what if it is something? Still, she'd most likely be at her dorm right now, and campus is not far away. I could double check to make sure everything's okay. Make sure Kaori's okay. Yeah, it's the only choice we have. I need to do a few things on campus, so I'll stop by while I'm there. No big deal, right? I grab my keys and head to Ace. After a short drive, I arrive at the academy. I recall the building Kaori led me to when she was not quite feeling herself. I follow a group of girls into the building. I'm about to join them at the elevator when a voice stops me.
Excuse me, may I help you?
It's the front desk agent for the dorm. This is an all-girls dorm, so it makes sense that I'd get stopped. Hi, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm on gear team Ace 204911. I'm here to meet with my teammate.
Of course, I just need to see your student ID.
I provide her the proper identification.
Thanks, just one moment.
I fidget as her fingers dance across the keyboard. Can't you type faster?
Mrs. Tommy hasn't acknowledged the buzzer.
Her phone died. We were chatting earlier.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You're all set then.
She hands me a visitor's pass.
Just swipe this on the elevator door and it'll guide you to your floor. Room number 45.
Thanks. That was easy. I make my way to the elevators and swipe to activate them. Well, I'm lying, but she did call me and I called her back. So we weren't talking earlier, but she tried to call me. So I would say we are lying, but we're not lying in the sense that she was trying to get in touch with me earlier. So following the instructions, I easily find number 45 and knock on the door. No answer. The door flies open.
You!
Kaori blinks at me in surprise.
What are you doing here?
They call me Stalker-kun. Your security here is rubbish. I was right to be worried about you. This place has the security of a hot dog stand.
Why were you worried about me?
I thought it was gonna be more joking than that, but it doesn't matter. You didn't answer your phone, which is unlike you.
So you decided to break into my dorm?
Break into? It was more like a casual amble into. She replies with a stony stare. Why didn't you respond to any of the calls or messages? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
As she replies, I take out my phone and call her number. I hear it ring faintly somewhere in her room. Your phone seems to be working fine.
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, you called me first. Then you ignored any of my attempts to call you back. Why would you ignore me unless your phone wasn't working?
You think too much into things.
Why did you call me? I think I deserve to know, especially after I came all this way. She crosses her arms and frowns.
I didn't ask you to come over here.
I'm about to retort when my stomach gurgles.
What was that?
Uh-oh. That would be my breakfast not agreeing with me. I need to use your bathroom.
No way! You're not getting in my room.
She tries to close the door on me, but I stop her with her foot. Seriously, this is an emergency. Seriously, this is an emergency. Trust me, I won't be able to make it back home in time.
That's not my problem.
Howdy, what is it this time?
I turn her towards the voice behind me. A girl wearing shorts and a tank top stands in the hallway. Her hands on her hips. She freezes when she sees me, and her mouth drops open in horror. This isn't good. I'm sure all she's seeing is a strange man trying to force his way into Carrie's room. This isn't what it looks like. Oh, God. Carrie lets go of the door and I crash onto the floor.
Wait, Himeki. It's okay. He's one of my piloting teammates.
Really?
Himeki glares at me.
He looks like a pervert to me.
Fuck you. Thanks for that. I rub my head as I slowly get back up.
It's okay. He's just picking something up.
More like dropping something off.
If you say so. But I'll be here in case he tries something.
Thank you. After I'm done fucking the shit out of Carrie against her will, I'll come tag you next. So it's a good thing you're staying around. Carrie smiles.
Thanks, but he
I'm sorry that was a bit dark, but it's like, look, if they're going to assume shit on me, I'm gonna fucking have a little. I'm gonna have a little fun with it. Himeki glares at me one last time before she goes back into her room. Carrie returns to her room and closes the door behind us. Clearly irritated by what happened, she clearly points towards the bathroom.
Congratulations, you made it in. Now do your thing and leave. I'm not talking to you.
I was hoping to have a stimulating conversation about quantum physics from the bathroom, but I guess I can flush that thought down the toilet.
I thought you really had to go.
I do. I rush into the bathroom. Carrie has even less of a sense of humour today than usual. I shut the door behind me and get comfortable on the porcelain throne. Her bathroom is pristine clean. Her items on the sink are neatly lined up and there are no stray items that shouldn't be there. Alright, time to get out of here. I reach for the toilet paper and pull off the last sheet. Oh no. She must have someone in the she must have some in the cabinet. I open it up but can't find any extra rolls. The rest of the drawers yield the same result. Carrie! No answer. Carrie! Still no answer. Is she seriously doing this right now? I need TP. Fine, I'll use something else. Oh, of course. Well, there's no toilet paper here, so I guess I'll just use the towel instead.
Don't you dare!
Oh, now she responds.
Why I didn't want to let you in. You only cause trouble.
The towel is so soft and fluffy. It's perfect.
Stop. Just give me a minute.
Sufficiently riled, I hear Carrie open what I assume is a closet in the distance. A few seconds pass and then I hear a knock on the door. I open the door just a crack and Carrie thrusts her hand in. I grab the coveted roll of toilet paper and she disappears. I'm saved. After washing my hands, I exit the bathroom. Carrie sits in her bed, her phone in hand. Thanks. She shrugs, her eyes glued to her phone.
Sure.
So, that's it then?
Huh?
You won't tell me why you called?
It's nothing.
I sigh. Alright, I can tell I'm clearly not needed here. Sorry to bother you. My hand is on the door when Carrie stops me.
Wait.
I pause. She puts down her phone.
Can I ask you something?
Sure. She goes quiet and stares at her lap. Did she change her mind?
I've been looking at different exchange programs and postgraduate opportunities in North America. More specifically, in the States. I was just curious about how things are over there. Maybe it'd be worth exploring those options?
I think she has a different question in mind. If you're strictly thinking about your career growth, I believe Japan has better opportunities.
Really?
Yeah, they're still leaders in the xenorobotics research and technological advancements. Many American pilots come to Japan searching for better opportunities, actually.
Oh, okay. Thanks for your input.
No problem. Was that everything?
Yeah. Sorry. That's why I called earlier. But it seemed like such a trivial thing that I didn't really want to bother you with it.
This isn't trivial at all. Besides, if there's something on your mind, I'm happy to listen. That's the whole point of being friends.
Okay.
She looked thoughtfully at me, processing what I just said. Is there something else she wanted to ask me? Her cheeks turn red and she quickly looks away.
Why would you think that?
Because I know you, Carrie. She looks at me with surprise, then she sighs.
Actually, there is something else.
What is it? She stands up from the bed and walks up to me. A lot closer than I was expecting. The heat flows into my face and she stares straight into my eyes.
After the match, when you...
She looks away, unsure about her words.
You know...
That's how I feel about you. Oh. No one's making all these saves, but whatever. Yeah, I know. Her face is as bright as her hair. She struggles to speak, glancing at everything except me.
Anime!
What?
I mean, the new season of Ninja Ranger is out. So, if you want, we can watch it. I mean, if you're not busy. Actually, you're probably busy. Forget I mentioned anything.
Netflix and chill? I grin at her. Are you asking me to Netflix and chill?
No, the episodes are downloaded.
Right, of course. I sigh. Too bad.
Let me just load it up. You can sit here.
She points to the bed. My eyes grow wide. Is she suggesting what I think? Really? Her expression matches my own when she realizes what she's implied.
It becomes a couch. The dorm is small.
True to her words, she pulls out her handle and a half the bed folds into a backrest. I take a seat as she fiddles around on her computer and sets up the connection to her TV. She starts the first episode, then hesitates before sitting next to me. We watch the show in silence, but as I sneak discreet glances at her, I catch her sneaking glances at me too. I'm doing a sneaky arm around the chair. Be confident and direct. Oh fuck it, let's just go for it. I know what those looks mean. Without hesitation, I wrap my arm around her shoulder. She tenses immediately.
What do you think you're doing?
Shh, just let it happen.
Hey! You can't just do whatever you please!
Stop being such a tsundere all the time, Carrie.
Don't call me a tsundere!
Tsundere there. Okay, that's it. I've always said tsundere, I think. Okay, tsundere, okay. Why? It's the truth.
I'm not a tsundere!
That's a very tsundere thing to say. She hits my chest. You're really not helping your case.
You're such an idiot!
She frowns, but I grin. If you really want me to stop, just tell me and I will. She snuggles closer into me in response. I try to focus on the show, but all I can think about is how her chest rises and falls with each breath she takes. Every breath step you take, every breath you make, your chest is all I can look at and I've got a heart on. I don't know. I'll try, I really do. I pull her closer and she eagerly responds by placing her hand on my chest. Her hair tickles my cheek and I catch a whiff of her shampoo. She smells so good, like peaches in summer. I gently brush her hair away. As my touch, she glances at me and my fingers trace the outline of her cheek. Slowly, we lean towards each other, getting closer and closer, until our lips finally meet. Carrie's kiss is surprisingly gentle. She blushes as we finally put away, but flashes me a smile. We run through the entire season of Ninja Ranger before we realise how late it is. After saying goodbye, I head home. Before I had classes, I arrive home expecting an empty house. Instead, Nikki is lounging on the couch watching TV. Hey Nikki. She cranes her head to look at me but doesn't move from her spot.
You're home.
Did Uncle Kato come home yet?
Yeah, but then he left again. He said he had to meet someone, then he tried to sneak out when I wasn't paying attention. But I was paying attention, and I saw him go. It was kind of weird, like he thought he'd be in trouble if I caught him.
Uncle Kato trying to keep a secret from Nikki. Could he be going to see Aunt Yuki? Well, if he hasn't talked to Nikki about it, then I won't mention it either. So, what did you do today?
I asked Uncle Kaito if I could work at his cafe, and today was my first day.
How was it? Nikki groans and slinks further into the couch.
Oh my god, I think my arms are gonna fall off. They had me washing dishes, and while I'm so happy that Uncle Kaito's restaurant is booming, if I have to wash another plate again today, I will scream.
So what does that mean for dinner tonight? You mean after dinner tonight, right?
What?
You're screaming if you watch another plate again after we have dinner. Nikki pauses, then bursts out laughing.
Dinner? That's funny. You're on your own tonight, mister.
But what will I eat? She half-heartedly reaches towards the end table, but drops her arms when they don't reach and points instead.
The takeout menus are over there. Knock yourself out.
Wow! You couldn't even reach to grab me one. Your laziness knows no bounds.
Says the guy who woke up at noon today.
It was before noon, thank you very much. So, are you going back tomorrow then? She shakes her head.
Nope.
You've quit already?
No, silly. I'm just not scheduled to work tomorrow. Today was exhausting, but it was still cool to be in the kitchen. And I was only on dish duty because I'm new. I know it won't be long before I'm prepping meals with the rest of the chefs.
What are you going to do instead?
I'll watch XZ's concert on TV.
She sighs wistfully.
I bet he's even dreamier in person.
I'll let you know if that's true. Nikki gives me a skeptical look.
Did you just say what I think you said?
If you thought I said I'm going to the concert, then yes. She stares at me, then snorts.
Yeah, right. Those tickets were sold out as soon as they went on sale.
I didn't say I had a ticket. I said I'm going to the concert.
How would you be able to get in without a ticket?
When you're a pilot, you make all sorts of connections, like the ones who sponsor your team and this concert.
Wait, Dashu is sponsoring this concert?
Nikki's mouth drops open, her eyes grow wide with hope.
You're going to the concert?
She hops over the couch and grabs my arm.
Please tell me you can bring your adorable and totally deserving little sister.
Nope, she's all mine. Nope, but maybe when I meet him, I'll tell him that you're kind of a fan. Her voice turns into a high squeal.
You have backstage passes?
Even better. Dashi was holding a promotional event before the concert, which we all have to attend, and I'll see him there. Maybe we'll even take a picture together.
Are you sure you can't bring a +1?
I don't need my crazy fangirl sister there to embarrass me. I'm trying to gain points, not lose them.
I'll be on my best behavior.
Nope. Her shoulders slump in defeat, and tears gather in her eyes.
Oh, okay.
I'm such an asshole. She sniffles between words.
You go. Have fun. I'll just be here.
Here we go.
I could go.
I'd be any money. As soon as I'm like, fine, you can go. But oh, thank you. She'll instantly perk back up. This is a trick. This is a trick. Nikki's last words transforms into a wow of despair. If it was me, I'd be like, bravo, bravo, and the Oscar goes to. So I'm not an idiot. I know what she's doing here. She's doing the puppy dog eyes and leading us to a false sense of security here. Oh, a full sense of emotion here. Whoa, hey, wait, don't cry. She hides her face. Look, I'm sorry I can't take you, but I'll get you an autograph, okay? She perks up. Her eyes are suspiciously dry.
You promise?
I promise.
And I'll make it out Nikki?
Probably.
Good enough.
She throws her arms around my neck and pulls me into a hug.
Thank you, big bro. That'd be an amazing present. I mean, a more amazing present would be taking me or getting me tickets to the show, but this is a solid second.
Oh, you're crushing me. She lets go and sinks back into the couch.
Anyway, you should probably order dinner now.
Why?
I'm hungry, and I'm not cooking.
My stomach growls in response. I guess I'm hungry too. I go check out the takeout menus. After a delicious dinner, I head up to my room and do a little more research on Dashu and their other sponsors. It's likely that I'll end up talking to some of them, and I don't want to seem ignorant. Once I'm done, I go to bed and drift to sleep. The sound of my alarm wakes me up. With a wide yawn, I push myself out of bed. A small part wishes I could have slept in again, but that part is silenced by the rest of me who is pumped up for the big concert. I swap through different outfits and spend a little more time on my appearance. It's important that I make a good impression, as I'm not only representing myself and my team, but I'm representing 8 Academy too. Once satisfied, I check my email for the location of the event. It's hosted at the Izakaze concert hall. The sponsorship networking event is at the club next door. I head downstairs, expecting to see a heartbroken Nikki, but to my surprise, Uncle Kato greets me from the couch, a piece of toast hanging from his mouth.
Hey, bud, it's time for sure.
What? Kato swallows his mouthful of toast and grins.
You don't speak food?
Not fluently, it seems.
Are you excited for today?
You already know?
Are you kidding me? Nikki has been talking non-stop about it. Oni-chan gets to meet XC!
That's the voice I'm using for it going forward, if I ever have to speak her lines. Did she really say that?
Close enough.
We laugh. Speaking of which...
She's hanging out with some friends. They're going to watch the concert together, but have to prep first. I don't really understand what that means.
Neither do I. I check the time. Oh, not enough time to make breakfast.
Here.
Uncle Kato offers me his extra toast.
I know that face all too well. There have been many a morning where I had to go hungry. I know that face all too well. There have been many a morning where I had to go hungry, and I can't subject my nephew to that kind of life.
That's morbid. He laughs.
I have a rare day off and can afford to make another.
I grin and accept his offering. Thanks.
Have a good day.
I nibble at my toast and head to the garage. Then I wolf the remaining toast down before driving into the city. Soon, I arrive at the concert hall. I wander around the hall and through the people bustling back and forth before finding the entrance backstage. There's a passage between the hall and the arcade as the properties. There's a passage between the hall and the arcade as the properties are owned by the same family. As I pass through, I spot the signs directing me to the Dashu VIP arcade lounge. After providing my identity to the guard, I enter. Oopsie. Ooh. Alright. Well, that's that. Actually, I'll keep this open because I need to take a screen grab so I can use that for the thumbnail. So I'm going to keep that open actually. So anyway, thanks so much for watching everybody. I hope you enjoyed the stream. It's 3 hours, which I think, you know, between my rant in and the update at the start, that's a good like 2.5 hours there. That's a solid 2.5 hour plus stream there, me actually playing through the game. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And obviously, you know, I usually do the visual novel once a week, but I might actually do another one tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. I might make it a rare exception because I'm actually, you know, now we're really getting into the. Ooh, I think we're already getting into the thick of it. But after today, I'm like, I actually really want to like continue it, you know. So we'll see. I might do more Palia tomorrow. Yeah. But we'll see how I feel. I might do another stream for Ace Academy, or I might do Palia. I don't have a schedule, so, you know, I can't change my mind on things. But doing the Ace Academy once a week, you know, gives, you know, allows it to be fresh and something to look forward to, right? For me and for those who care enough to watch it. But I might do another tomorrow because we're getting into the thick of it now, I feel, and, you know, I'm enjoying it. So, I don't know, we'll see how I feel. Ace Academy or Palia tomorrow. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for Chennis for stopping by. For all of you who are lurking away, I appreciate you being here. If I've been social entertainment to any extent, first, second, third, fourth, audio only, you know, whatever, you know, if I've been a social entertainment or a distraction for you to any extent, I'm grateful for that and I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you enjoy it. If you're working, I hope you're able to enjoy some of your weekend at least. And if you're going through anything, I hope you're able to get through it or find someone who can help you. I'll see you guys potentially tomorrow, Football Race Academy or Palia. If I don't see you tomorrow when I do decide to stream Ace Academy or Palia, if I do decide to stream either of them, I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you have a good week. It's been Ace Subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.